Introducing PubCoin. PubCoin is the rewards program for pub sports contributors. Regular chat contributors share their play of the day, POD, in the YouTube chat, including the phrase POD in their message. At the end of the week, the amount of units earned are converted into PubCoins. PubCoin can be used as reward points for prizes, shop discounts, and contests.
We are back! The third annual Pub Sports Radio Cappers Contest is ready for registration. 5 picks each week against the spread, and we battle for cash.
All picks lock. Saturday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Top 10% gets paid out at the end of the season. Sign up right now at pubsportsradio.com.
Congratulations to last year's champions, Guillermo Zertucci and Sharpie, who were tied atop the leaderboard. But Jose, why don't we hear from our inaugural champion, Peter Loshak?
Yeah, last year, before the season started, Slaughter called me. He was like, could you not win it this year? And I was like, Jeff, anything. You don't even have to think about it. You know what I mean? So I did that. He hasn't called me so far this year.
Okay.
If he does, I'm not going to win it. If he doesn't, all bets are off, pal.
Oh, I like it.
All bets are off if I don't get that call. You know what I mean?
Wow, Pete. Thanks for your generosity.
I can't wait! September 5th, Thursday night is game 1, but your picks have to be in by Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. We battle for infamy! We battle for the Cappers Contest Pub Sports Radio Championship. Upgrade your membership to Gold. You will be automatically entered in every horse race, every Wednesday and Friday. It is time to race horses.
Shout out to the gold members. And we're off. 2 minutes, 74 canals on this racetrack. It's wide. We're racing in San Antonio.
Pat Wally moving forwardly. Jeff Slaughter in the mix as well. And as is Randall Sheffield, who's put that beautiful nose out front.
But it's actually real grass here, Jimmy. Maybe Kentucky bluegrass here. Oh, look at Nuss Flush Allen bursting out here. The horses love it. Sometimes they stop and eat it on the way to the finish line. That's why your horses start so far in the back. J-Dub in the mix. Rude Boy up here as well. Jimmy, take it away.
There's Oldie. Oldie is moving to the front. We are past the halfway mark in our 2 mile. And there's Ricky Levy. 19 seconds left in the horse race here. It's Fernando Mendoza trying to find the wire. 14 seconds left. Can Fernando Mendoza take this home? Here comes Kenny Can. Kenny Can wants a piece of the pie. Ricky Bobby, 9 seconds left. Can Donut Silks make a run? Can Res Mall make a run to be $50?
You son of a bitch!
Here comes Tori Coker. Kenny Can, Smoke and Mirrors, Director 97 home. That is the way. Here comes Jason Meyer, the other auto custodian. Billy Friedrich. Those one all coming down to the finish.
Coin! Nowhere!
Oh no! And Fanatical Jim! Fanatical.
Get 'em, Jimmy, where Loshak at? The bottle's getting empty, I'm not cracking, we stacking. Chips, all of this, what I want, plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone, I prefer elevated, Pub Sports Radio. Time to get educated, who get produced, say the juice, let loose.
What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Tuesday, August 20th to all of you. Thank you for watching Loshak and the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. I'm rocking my first ever Pete Loshak shirt. First ever one I ever had. Rocking it. As this is my final Loshak and the Bag as football season is here. So Tuesdays moving forward after today will be the Peter Loshak Show. Peter Loshak looking for a 6th straight winning show here. He is rolling nice. And we start with incredible news. Our guy Justin McKelvey at the hospital with daughter. Her water broke. About to be a grandfather for the 2nd time. Let's go. I'll pop in and out throughout the show. Reminds me of back a long time ago when Q Peso had his daughter that we helped name Lobagalin during our show. That was many, many years ago when I was down in Costa Rica. Justin McKelvey, congratulations. You're going to be, you're already a great grandfather, a great father, but what a wonderful addition to the fam. What great, great news. Justin McKelvey, our guy at the hospital right now and capping while he's there, of course. We got action coming in. Justin McKelvey stacks at play today. Stevenson over 1.5 bases at plus 128. Crystal Craig play today. Brewers team total over 2.5. And Willie Contreras 1 hit. That parlay minus 110 here. A Viper NB is locked in the New York Yankees -1. Like in Washington, Kansas City, but we will wait for the breakdowns. Truth teller in the house. There's Swiggy says last week of no football, which means bankroll blitz starts next week. Our futures show next Tuesday at 8 p.m. This Tuesday, we have the Contender Series. Don't forget about that. Tuesday live fighting here on our channel. But they may go while we do Bankroll Blitz, and they're more than welcome to. They're more than welcome to keep rolling with the Contender Series. We take no offense whatsoever. The fight fans need their action, so we'll totally support it. But Bankroll Blitz is back. Troy Torrance and I starting next Tuesday. Looking forward to see Troy build off what a spectacular first year of publicly presenting all of his NFL action. He got up over 50 units last year in the show at one point. Hit a bit of a bump in the playoffs, but still a monster year. I don't have his final numbers in front of me, but I know he was up over 30 units on the entire year. Spectacular work, and I can't wait to work with him yet again. And I've got a 5-0 start to the NFL season. Thank God, as we wait for our man Peter Loshak to join us. I have fallen apart. It was July 2nd. I came onto this show. It wasn't very good. I was 184 and 176, 51.1%, plus 0.35 units. Since then, I've fallen apart. MLB can just get away from you. You lose confidence. It just got away from me. And it's just been horrific for my bankroll, especially before football season. Publicly embarrassing. It's everything. It just ruined my summer. My summer since July 2nd, I was having a pretty good summer. It was okay summer. Everything was fine. My summer's fallen apart since then. 63 and 92. Horrific. 40.6%. Down 36.77 units since July 2nd. I mean, that's just, I can't even saying it out loud. And so the whole plan was to cut the unit size in half. And I don't know if I can do it. I haven't done it with my first 3 bets. I just, look, if I was on a ship and it was sinking and everybody was jumping on their rafts, I'd go down with the boat. So I'm just going to fire away. I'd like to keep my quantity down, but I will be firing away at regular units here. I just, am I going to cap my way out of it, or I'm just going to, I don't know. So we'll see. But I have not cut my units. I had planned to until yesterday. I was like, just don't be a bitch, man. I mean, if you're going to go down, then go down swinging and stabbing. And I will do both of those things. Shout out to Justin McKelvey once more, becoming a grandpa for the 2nd time. Pig Milk play today. Astros reverse run line -1.5. I remember last year started hammering the Orioles. Now, I mean, doing it now with the Astros of winning 12 or 13. But what do you think their winning percentage is going to be throughout the rest of the year? I mean, the way they're playing such complete baseball feels like they'll have to hit, 600 plus winning percentage. But it's late to the party to start hammering them every single day. I've only made 2 moves. I'm on the Baltimore Orioles, the aforementioned Baltimore Orioles. And I am also on the Seattle Mariners, first 3 and first 5. plus 125, first 5 plus 120, first 3. At this point, those should be faded bets with the way I'm running right now. But there's still time to at least pack some W's. So I'm going to be firing away. The nuke worker in the house, NJ Striker, smart money bets, earth to air, the billionaire in the house, razor sharp picks, 6 straight winners on Medicate Mondays with Razor's Edge. What a great show Medicate Mondays is. Swiggy reminding you of the UFC Contender Series live tonight, 7 p.m. Gerald Jones in the house. There's Ron Crawford, spreadsheet dog, play of the day, Milwaukee Brewers plus 114. And Razor saying Loshak in the bag shirt. Yes, I rock it all the time, but today I'm just wearing just a Peter Loshak shirt here. Loshak celebrating our friend Peter, and hopefully he shows up. Joey Harb, Ron Crawford, Stephen Fehrenbach in the house, giving love to Justin McKelvey, NJ Striker, Rob McMahon. Wine Time Sports back from his honeymoon in Europe. What a guy. What a great trip that looked like. Wine Time. Wine Time going to be a big part of our football action as we move into football. The Sweaty Butcher, Al Cervic. Great guys, great cappers I've rocked with for a long, long time. Nuclear says Lobagalin has a nice ring to it. Yes, that was our very first child during a show. Was from our friend Q Peso, who's still around once in a while. Q Peso now raising a family, and young Lobagalin. Al Cervic says bankroll blitzers, chill will in the house. Truth Teller says football is king. 9 legacy. Moving on a Brewers, Royals, Padres, Giants, Dodgers run line parlay. And it is time to bring in my co-host here on Tuesdays. And as I said, this is our last Tuesday together for a while. As Bankroll Blitz is back next week. It will be the Peter Loshak Show as we move forward. And I cherish the opportunity to cap with him. I hope he sees this shirt that I still care for very much. Not allowed in the dryer. This shirt. Please welcome from Brooklyn, New York, the man, the myth, the legend, Pistol Pete Loshak. Pete, how are you?
Oh, I'm okay. Jimmy the Bag. So this is the last one for a while now. We should have promoted the record because, my record in these shows has been very good. What's the point of having a good record if you don't promote it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What's the point of promoting having a good record if you don't promote it? We should promote the hell out of that. But now we'll see. But that's gonna suck. It's way easier to do a show where you're capping and not hosting than capping and hosting at the same time, Jimmy the Bag. That's hard as hell. That is hard as hell. That's why I regularly go down to the shows when I have to host my own shows and cap them.
Well, you are going to have guest spots, and you'll have Jose Bouquet, who can help with a lot of the hosting.
That hurts.
Heavy lifting. We have Slatsy in the house. Says Austin Mack comes back to the Alouettes from his failed try with the Atlanta Falcons. And he says, Patrick Laine comes to the Habs. Montreal sports scene is on fire. Do have some reservations with Laine, but we need scoring, and the price was right. Slatsy, I don't think the price was right. I think you got real damaged goods for $8.7 million for 2 seasons. It's only being looked at. Here's a sign that it's a bad move, is that it's beloved in social media. Everybody patting Hughes on the back. Every single person talking positively about the trade. That's how you know that it's very likely a poor trade. If you remember when the Canucks and Coyotes made the Oliver Ekman-Larson trade, it was beloved. Not one negative thing was said about it. It was just beloved, and that's what's happening here. I would not, having that financial ability to bring on cash is huge. I could be wrong. Laine could be very strong. I would not have made that trade. I would not have made that trade for I think really damaged goods. I don't think Laine scores 50 points. That's easy to say. I don't think he scores 30 goals. That's really easy to say. But we'll see. There's a lot of talent on that Habs squad. But Austin Mack coming back is huge for the Alouettes. I've already moved, by the way. Look at this. Our guy Skunt Blaster says low baggers unite. And the Skunt play today is the Orioles money line. Right there with you, Skunt Blaster. I'm right there with you. Let me copy and paste that. I have moved in CFL. By the way, I am on the Rough Riders +3. The same reason why I was on the Bombers. I waited till it got to +3. But Chad Kelly, it's not like in the NFL when a quarterback gets hurt. That quarterback generally, is around the team, on the sidelines with a headset. Both of Nathan Rourke and Chad Kelly have not been with their teams. They've not been around with their teams. You're asking too much. And I was going to wait again, till there was threes across the board, but I'd be shocked if it doesn't go down to 1.5 or 2. Chad Kelly just joined the team on Sunday. And does Chad Kelly come across as a real studious guy anyways? Peter Loshak, you're going for 6 straight winning shows today. That's very impressive.
It's not going to happen because I'm going to post my record just because it's the final show that we're doing for a while. So I'm going to post my record just because it's nice. If you don't have, what's the point of having a good record if you don't put it up there? But I'm going to post my record, so that's going to jinx today's show. So today will be a losing day for me, but that's fine. That's worth it. It's worth it to be able to post my record anyway. I will take one losing day to be able to post a nice winning long-term record with Big Sam.
We've talked about your winning streak. I don't believe in that stuff. We've talked about it. And you keep winning. You keep winning and delivering.
That is true. I will say that some of the things in my life that I've noticed that I've jinked myself with are not quite. Maybe I'm overcoming the jinx situation more now that I'm at this stage of my life. I'm not exactly sure. You're absolutely right, though, Jimmy the Bag. I've noticed that in other areas of my life too. You're right. The jinx is a very mysterious thing, Jim.
Yeah, I don't believe in those things. We have our Cappers contest up, and Adam, our 3rd annual Pub Sports Radio Cappers contest. Kong's Clips has signed up. We've got a lot of Cappers who have signed up, and Peter Loshak was our inaugural winner. Last year, Guillermo Zertucci and Sharpie shared the title. We also have our Survivor pool up, and Adam, so please enter the Cappers contest and Survivor. It is unclear right now if we are going to have the poker game on this Friday, the 23rd. We may start it up, our poker, on Friday, the 30th. Still waiting on Bet Online at this point. So we'll let you guys know all about the poker contest or poker tournament. But
you just reverse jinxed it. So it's going to happen this Friday.
I hope so. I really, really, really hope so. I really, really hope so. And Jimmy G, Smart Money Bets, Jimmy G. Okay, just update the YouTube handle. Let's get this bounce back. I'm going to copy and paste. That's Jimmy G in the house. Love it. Respect. And Kong's Clip says contest tickets. I love it. Let me just copy and paste Smart Money Bet so I know it's our guy, Jimmy G in the house. Philly Eagle Flyer ready to get to work. Al Cervix says stab and talk must be football time. Serious business. Bill McDonald on Seattle Storm to bounce back. First quarter -2.5. That's a very interesting look, Bill, that I like. These 3 WNBA games have a lot of gambling potential in them. I'm interested. I mean, it's hard not in WNBA this year. The double-digit dogs have just, cash and cash. And I know the Sparks embarrassed a lot of people last week, but I can see why the Wings are appealing against the Liberty, maybe the Sparks against the Sun, and then Seattle Storm to bounce back after 2 rough spots. I'm going to copy and paste Bill McDonald's action right there. Joey Harb, Anthony Richardson, Jarek White says, I don't like hearing that. I'm also on Seattle first 5. Sorry, Jarek. You could buy out of that. You might need to buy out of that right away. Arnillo in the house. DC Capper Marks reviews. Andrew D says, I'm ready for some Wine Time Sports on the College Game Day live streams. We got Sal in the house. BT. And again, Scump Blaster, thank you so much for that $9.99 dono to bless our action as we get started. Andrew D says Line has had more than one chance already. I just, I wouldn't have made that trade. I would have. Columbus has to be dancing in the streets to get out of that contract. But so it's not only the risk you're taking, but you're letting another Eastern Conference team off the hook. I mean, these teams who make these terrible contract signs, they're supposed to have this weight around their neck, and the Habs just let them off the hook. Nuke says I can only get the +2.5, hoping to catch a 3. There is a 3 at Pinnacle right now, Nuke. Which is probably worth getting an account at as NFL is coming up here in a second. It's very helpful in NFL. It's a great book to have. Al Cervix says Chad Kelly got beat up with a vacuum cleaner while he was tripping. Very interesting stuff here. Sweaty Butcher in the house says, last year I called the best fade for the season in the Panthers. This year I think the Chargers will be the best fade team. Peter Loshak, have you done much work on NFL to start this season?
Almost none, Jim.
Perfect.
We got U.S. Open qualifiers. We got MLB. This is my favorite time of the year in MLB. So it's I'll be good though. Don't you worry about me, Jim.
Slatsy says, can you believe Tiger Cat signed that loser Chris Jones? Same old story. No, I can. He does create accountability. He's like a curmudgeon on the sidelines. You can't get accountability out of this porous defense. You can get that. That is possible. Clint Zerlgan says, where's our guy Jose? Says, Jose, you are equally as important to this show as Jimmy and Pistol. Best trio in the game. Jose will be on here shortly. Now, he is struggling. He is dealing with COVID, Peter. Jose is dealing with COVID. So, he won't be that shiny, electric Jose Bouquet that you've all learned to love. Al Cervix says, I can't decide which contest to enter. Enter them both. Raymond Reichard says, Ronnie, any WNBA spreadsheet? Yeah, he's a monster there. Steve Fehrenbach says, Butcher, Harbaugh's track record makes it hard to believe they completely shit the bed this year in LA. Elite quarterback and a good coach. Is Herbert still an elite quarterback, Peter?
Barely remember who that dude is. I can tell you everything about Shane Baz, though, pitching tonight.
Well, you can't pronounce his name right, though.
Baze? Yeah, I can't do that. I can tell you whether he's more or less likely to get 5.5 strikeouts, somewhat accurately, I think.
Okay. And look at that. Nut Flush 16. Nut Flush 16. Is that our Nut Flush Allen?
No.
Is that our Nut Flush Allen? That's got to be our Nut Flush Allen, right? Or is Nut Flush Allen already a gold member? Jose, is Nut Flush Allen already a gold member? Is Nut Flush 16 Nut Flush Allen?
I think Nut Flush is already a gold member as well, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
It's nice to see everyone, though.
Okay. Nut Flush 16. Welcome to the show. Now, Jose, I sense that COVID cloud around you. How are you feeling, my friend?
I can simply not stop shitting. I can just constant. The River Rhine is flowing. My body hurts. But we went 1-0 yesterday, so I'm clinging on to life.
Well, we will do the heavy lifting here for you. Clint lost 15 pounds on his last round of COVID, was a month back. Yeah, it stayed in my lungs for a month as well. That is Nut Flush Allen in the house. Says, good morning, boys. Girls, just want to stop and let you guys know this is the best family you can have. We are battling through this, and we'll be back to smashing the card. Yes, our guy, Nut Flush Allen, taking care of his mom. The circle. I don't know what to say. I mean, a John Donne poem doesn't really qualify for this one, but he's come full circle now, taking care of his mom daily, and what a guy he is, just leading his family through all of this. And his son still on, I think it's the Toyota Tour, the Junior Golf Tour. Son rolling, Bailey in med school. What a guy you are, Nut Flush, and we're so happy to have you back joining us here. And True Teller says the Cappers contest sounds better of the two. I will be in both because nothing pays out as much. Well, it depends how many signups, obviously, but only one person can take all the money in the Survivor pool. I can tell you all about that. It's a great story. Gerald Jones says Omicron got Jose. Yes, we might need to holler at Omicron.
Yeah, he's not the only one anymore.
So what you missed, Peter, was that since July 2nd, I am 63 and 92 in MLB, down 36.77 units. That's the worst I've ever had. Now, there was a time before I got to Costa Rica that you went down an enormous amount, started wearing the same jersey every day. Can you tell me that story just to give me hope as we move forward here?
Oh my gosh! What was this again? You're at my memory. I have a bad memory, Jimmy. What happened again?
You went on a massive run.
Oh, that's right.
Half of an MLB season about 8 years ago.
That's right.
And
I was down.
You were down in an embarrassing spot, and you climbed all the way back. And I would like to hear the story.
I remember that. I had a something like Princeton Review, I think, baseball jersey that made me look like a guy from the Warriors, the guys with the baseball bats from the Warriors. I forgot what they were called. And I had a few winning days in a row, or maybe it was just one winning day. And I said, I'm a man of my word. I said, I'm going to wear this friggin' thing and I'm not going to wash it every show until I have a losing day. Wound up wearing it for 3 months or something, and wound up, up 2% ROI or whatever at the end of the year. That's the whole story, Jay. The reason I remember it is because I did realize that I looked in the end like the dudes from the Warriors. I forgot. The guys, the baseball bats. I forgot what their gang was called. The
Warriors. Yeah, no, you nailed that. Vitalis in the house. Sweaty Butcher. We have all Ryan Kozlowski ready to get to work. Kong's clips. Yes.
Sorry. So the lesson for that is, if you have a winning day, wear the exact same clothes and don't wash them until you have a not winning day.
Okay, I'm comfortable with that.
I'd like to see you wear that shirt a lot.
I'm comfortable.
And don't wash them. That's the important part.
I'm comfortable with that. In our first year working together, Pete, I went down in NBA pretty bad, and you gave me the positivity monologue and turn it around and all that. And I went on the greatest run, 45 unit run in NBA.
I wonder if you can find that show.
Black. Sorry?
I wonder if you could find that show. It's probably still up.
Yes, I think I went back to it a few years back. Real DJX, UPK Yashila. Okay, let's get to work here. But it was July 2nd that I was plus units in MLB. July 2nd. This has all happened in the last 7 weeks.
That's interesting because we've talked about this from day one in all sports, and especially baseball. First half of the season for me is touch and go at best. Second half is when I really start to turn it on. A lot of the best cappers in the world are the opposite. They love the first, and then they say the lines get too sharp, and then they can't do it. But once again, so maybe I should just tail you first half. You tail me second half. Yin and yang, right?
I don't think I was good enough to be tailed, but I was in the black. Just horrific. I'm ready to fire here. Let's get to work. 6:40 p.m. Eastern. We have the Arizona Diamondbacks 70 and 56, 33 and 30 on the road. The Miami Marlins 46 and 79, 24 and 40 at home. We're at Lone Depot Park in Miami, Florida. Justin McKelvey on the over 7.5. It's funny because I wanted the under. I wanted to talk it out with you guys. I didn't have the balls to move on it. This line came out at 7:30 this morning at Pinnacle at 7.5 minus 113 to the over. There's been 2 cents of movement, but over at Bet Online, this opened up as an 8. Minus 115 to the under. 11:30 at night. At 2:13 a.m. it was minus 121 to the under. At 3 a.m. it was minus 126, got minus 128, and now it's a 7.5. It's moved to a 7.5. So we've had a half run move there, but
Pete, what the hell are you drinking? What the hell was that? That looked like cough medicine. Like
this, a little bit of the it's prune juice, lean, and Courvoisier, and I add a little bit of anise and some spices in it.
Okay, fair. I was just wondering.
No, it's
you know what lean is, Jose Bouquet?
I need some. Maybe it'll take me out right now.
You know what prune juice is? Get you some, Jose.
No, I think it would help, Jose.
Mm-hmm.
From a money line spot, Arizona has had a 3-cent move towards them, but that wasn't the case when this opened up at 7:30. This was minus 143 to Arizona. There was an immediate 13-cent move towards the Marlins in 1 minute. Then it's been building back since then. So an immediate move. Now we have 3 cents of movement towards the Arizona Diamondbacks. Let's get into the setup here with the cash flow and then the pitchers as well. Cash flow wise, 87% of tickets, 85% of cash on Arizona. From a total standpoint, 98% of tickets, 99% of cash on the over. Eduardo Rodriguez, last start, 3 earned runs in 5 innings in the 4-3 win at home versus the Rockies. He's thrown 10 2/3 over 2 starts to start the year with 6 Ks and 3 walks. He was hurt all year. The Marlins are hitting just 205, 672 OPS versus lefties. Should be a good opportunity for him. For Edward Cabrera, he's coming off a horrible start. He was lights out for 2 starts in a row. Then he's coming off a horrible start. 4 innings, 6 earned runs, and a 9-5 win at the Phillies. And it must have been a loss. I don't know why I wrote win there. Yeah, it was a loss. How can you allow 6 earned runs and win 9-5? Loss to the Phillies at Philadelphia. And the Diamondbacks are the best in the league. All these stats, again, sorry, I should say this again. All the stats are from August 1st, not July 15th anymore. Diamondbacks 272, 889 versus righties. The Marlins bullpen's fallen apart since the exodus at the trade deadline. 5.22 ERA, 1.29 whip in August, while Diamondbacks bullpen 3.45 ERA, 1.28 whip. Rye Cape in the house. Robert Franklin leaning Miami money line and the over. Nasty Nate says Pete and I drank that in Manhattan.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we had a good time, Nasty Nate. Next time, give me a little heads up when you're going to AC. I can plan my schedule around a little bit more. We'll do it again. It's fun as hell to hang out with the low baggers and pubbers, Jimmy the Bag. Way more fun than you think.
Oh no, it's glorious.
Yeah,
it's glorious.
Had a hell of a good. We didn't even have that good of a time. It was just very good.
Jose Bouquet, take it away. Diamondbacks, Marlins.
Yeah, I lean Marlins here. Eduardo Rodriguez is just not a pitcher I'm backing this year, honestly. The lack of, I guess rehab scared me off to begin with, and now he's kind of just like pitching and trying to figure out his form live in the game. So I stayed off this one pretty easily. I'll go over the market again real quick. 87% of the bets and 85% of the money on the Diamondbacks here. And like you said, it had an initial move to the Marlins here. It opened up at minus 150, got up to 55, and then drops down to 40. Minus 140, and it's coming back up. So I lean Marlins here. Edward Cabrera on a bounce back, but nothing here for me.
Peter Loshak going for his 6th straight winning show. Take it away, Diamondbacks, Marlins.
I don't understand why the market seems to be expecting a decent start from Erod. I mean, I know that he's pitching against Miami in this stadium. But I have a lean to the under 17.5 outs from him. Slight lean to the over 2.5 earned runs. I don't like to take that, with Miami at home, but at plus money at the odds, plus 126 or plus 130 or whatever. I have a lean that way. I don't think I'm going to bet it. And Cabrera, yeah, it's a bounce back, but Arizona, that's a tough lineup. I like his my numbers like over 1.5 earned runs at minus 169 for Cabrera as well. It's probably going to be another. My numbers say another roughly 5 inning, roughly 3-run start for Erod. So that would mean that the under 17.5 outs and over 2.5 earned runs at plus money have a little bit of value. But I guess I won't make them official because it's always tricky to take Miami, bet against Miami as a home dog, and both these starters have a lot of volatility and as you said, Jose Bouquet. Hard to quantify uncertainty as well with Erod. So, yeah, free play. I would definitely throw it on Cabrera over 1.5 earned runs, Erod under 17.5 outs. But I think I'll pass for official.
If I wasn't on this horrific run, I would be interested in the under. This total so low, very low. A lot of. Not one person on the under here. 99% of cash and tickets on the over. Why would it? It just feels like they're opening their arms up to cash on the over. But I don't have the balls for that. Strategic investments. Chapiadora play of the day from our guy. Strategic investments coming to us from the Dominican Republic. Our guy, Strategic Investments. I've copied that and pasted it. All right, looks like no action. And Smart Money, our guy Jimmy G says, ugly game. Feels like yesterday where Miami has the edge on numbers, plus 1.5, but Arizona's been too strong of late. None of my better sides, so I'm off. I would love to bet the under here. Love it. I would enjoy it so much. At least the first 5 under 4, but I can't do it where I'm running. So let's roll on. Next up for us, 6:45 p.m. Eastern with the Colorado Rockies, 46-79, 17-46 on the road. At the Washington Nationals, 56-69, 28-32 at home at Nationals Park in Washington, D.C. Let's get into the weather to get us started. What the hell is that? I got too many things. Way too much open here. Let me pull it up. Give me a second to pull it up. We have Austin Gomber going up against DJ Hertz, 2 lefties on the hill. Finally, Austin Gomber got out of a first inning at Arizona, against the team that's absolutely raking. if he can get out of the first inning, he's going to have a good start. He gets better as the game goes on, a rarity in this day of age. And he finally had a trustworthy first inning, and I wasn't on the game. He'd scared me enough. I wish I was. It was an under that would have cashed quite comfortably. It is 75 Fahrenheit, 11.9 miles per hour in, between 11.9 and 9 miles per hour in. Aubrey Travis, thank you for the kind words. Swiggy asking if this is a Nat spot. Jarek White looking at the over 8. And Philly Eagle Flyers on the Diamondbacks, first 3 at plus 130 here. Swiggy talking about Washington's numbers versus lefties. You know, it's interesting, Swiggy. The Nats are hitting lefties with a pretty solid average, 258 in August, but just a 668 OPS. That's as low as I can remember seeing with a batting average that high. Gomber 3-8, 4.82 ERA, 1.31 WHIP. Last start, 2 earned runs, 4 Ks, 1 walk in 6 innings, allowing 6 hits in the 4-3 loss to Arizona. On the road, he's been bad this year. He's been better in the thin air. 2-6, 5.16 ERA, 282 opponents batting average. DJ Hertz coming off a nice start at the Orioles. Nice start. 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 5 Ks, 2 walks, and a 4-1 loss. He's been great at home. 2-3, 3.65 ERA, 49 strikeouts in just 37 innings. He's only allowed 4 home runs in those 37 innings, 231 opponents batting average. Rockies versus lefties in August, 256, 705. And the Nats bullpen gives them a huge advantage over a Rockies bullpen that has struggled all season long. Let's get into the line history here for these Nationals. They're sitting here at minus 152. They opened up minus 148. There was a legit move towards the Rockies. It's come back. So now we have a 4-cent move to the Nationals. It's hard to pull the trigger on a Nationals as this big of a favorite. I could understand anybody's concern. This total opened up at 8.5, and it's down to 8. So we have a half-run move to the under. Not only that, but this moved all the way to 7.5. The full run to the under. Was at 7.5 at 9:30 this morning. Let's get into the cash flow for this one. We have 87% of the tickets, 82% of the cash, and now it's 89 and 85. So 11% of the tickets and 15% of cash on the under. And on the money line, we have 10% of the tickets and 5% of the cash on the Rockies. Wow. Jose Bouquet, take it away.
Yeah, I'm off this one. I lean Nationals, the line movement their way, the way they hit lefties. All is semi-convincing, but I actually kind of leaned under was my best hypothetical bet in this game. I think both pitchers can pitch pretty well, but no action for me. I'm off.
Peter Loshak, what appeals to you in the spot?
I definitely like the under 8.5. I hit that. It's down to 8 now, right, Jim?
Yeah.
I like it a lot more at 8.5, obviously, but I still like it at 8. And numbers indicate Gomber should be okay. I definitely like Gomber over 16.5 outs. Also, the Hertz hits number was very low, just because I do expect him to have a decent start and to go deep. So over 4.5 hits at like plus 130 or 140 is something that I like. Gomber under 2.5 earned runs, like that one. And again, last week, Jimmy the Bag, I had Gomber over a low strikeout prop, and that one cashed, but it cashed like late. He got his 4th strikeout or whatever up very late. But again, I don't quite understand why his strikeout number is so low. 3.5 at like minus 145 or 150 or whatever. And so I definitely like unders all around. Gomber over outs and Gomber under earned runs as well. I'll make a few of them official. Let me see. Yeah, I mean Gomber. Gomber. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I will. I'll definitely use Gomber over 16.5 outs, and I'll shop around to get the best line over 16.5 outs. That'll be for sure. And I also just like the under, first 5 under, first 3 under, all that stuff.
Yeah, that appeals to me. The Gomber's first inning issues are the reason why I'm not on it already. And then the first 5 is now a 4. This opened up at 4.5. I mean, I could have got under 4.5 up until what? An hour ago? Hour and a half? An hour ago? At 10:30 this morning, I could have got the under 4.5.
For the first 5, you mean?
Yeah, now that's minus 130 at Pinnacle.
Yeah, I do like that. I might add it on, or maybe I'll just add on the full game. Yeah, take 8.5 at some 130 type line. But yeah, my numbers indicate a decent start for both guys, liking the under. And because I expect them both to have a relatively long start, the Hertz hits prop over 4.5 at that much plus money has some value. It's a little bit head scratching there. And then the Gomber strikeouts prop, I don't understand why that's so low. It's also has some money, but for sure, at least I'll put on Gomber outs over 16.5.
Okay, and you'll line shop for the best number?
Quote the best number, and if I want to add on anything, I'll let you know in the next segment.
So you wouldn't bet the first 5 under at 4? I mean, that's something that
I would. Probably would. I'll bet anything, too. But
you don't think it should have been bet at 4.5?
Yes, I'd much rather have 4.5. I did hit the under 8.5 full game.
All right. God. Okay. I'm interested in that first 5 under here. And Jose, with such little amount of money and tickets on the Rockies, what is it that doesn't appeal to you?
About the Rockies side?
Yeah.
I think it's just Swig put it in the chat. Their numbers against lefties have not been good.
I've got them with better numbers against lefties since August 1st.
Let me see. Yeah, I was gonna give you the August 1st numbers. They're right beside each other though.
Yeah,
85 and 83, so both bad. Honestly, and it feels like it'll be just a rock fight. If we're just talking line them up pitcher to pitcher, who would you rather have? It's Gomber for me, obviously.
Oh, why is that?
I'd rather have the experience of having a full season in the majors than DJ Hurst's inexperience. You know, he's come up a few times already this year. Obviously, he's gotten shelled in his own rights. But at the end of the day, I'd rather have the experience. And it's not like it's fucking much with Austin Gomber, but at least he's been in the majors for a year and done all this stuff before.
Okay. Well, I'm interested in the first 5 under. I just and Swiggy using all the action from July 15th, that works. Like, don't, whatever's working for you. I mean, I've been having this conversation with True Teller for a while. Season long numbers work for him. So just whatever works for you. What I'm using has not been working for me since July 2nd.
You know what, Jim? I will take the first 5 under. I'll shop around, decide if I want to be safe and go 4.5 or just eat the 4.
Okay. Well, I'd like to join you on it, so I'll be curious as to what you decide. Okay, let's move on. 7:05 p.m. Eastern. And Nut Flush in the house. Isn't it great to have Nut Flush back in business with us, Pete? Come on.
Oh, my God. I mean, I'm speechless. Great person, great capper. When are we going to we'll hang up very soon, Nut Flush. We got to freaking make this shit happen.
The team,
Palooza 4.
Team total over on Colorado side. So Nut Flush thinking that they can get to Hertz here.
What did he say he likes?
He's looking at Colorado team total over. Colorado team total over 3.5 at -109.
Okay.
Yeah, not bad. Shout out to you, Nut Flush. I've been betting team totals. Hope you're proud.
Let's roll on. 7:05.
Sorry, Jim. I'm going to take 4.5 -130. Pinnacle.
Yeah, Pinnacle.
That's not bad at all. Good job, Pete.
Sure. Thank you.
And what about for the over 16.5 outs? What was the best juice?
Oh, 120 -127. Pinnacle.
-127. All right, let's roll here. Bally Mal in the house. Raymond Reichart looking at Cubs team total over. Let's roll. 7:05 p.m. Eastern with the Cleveland Guardians, 72 and 52, 34 and 32 on the road. At the New York Yankees, 73 and 52, 32 and 27 at home. We're at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Let's get to the weather here for this one. 70 Fahrenheit, 12.3 miles per hour to right field. Dies down to 7.9, so it dies down throughout the game. Let's get into the line history here for this one. I've got the first 5 up. So the first 5 total has not. It's moved 7 cents to the first 5 under. 7 cents to the under. Let's get to the full game. That's at 4.5. A full game, we have an 8 -115 to the over. This opened up at 8.5, dropped to 8. Now this happened last night too. 9:45 p.m. It drops to 8, and then it gets back up to 8.5. Drops down to 8 again at 9:20 this morning, and that's where it is right now. So we have a half run move towards the under. And on the money line, we have the Yankees at minus 142. They opened up at minus 159, 15 cents of movement towards the Cleveland Guardians and Matthew Boyd. We get to the cash flow for this one. Only 8% of tickets and 18% of the cash on the Guardians. This is turning into a must-bet scenario. 18% of tickets and 38% cash on the under. Matthew Boyd looked phenomenal in rehab and then continued it in that first game. The market moved heavily towards him, when he was at home versus the Cubs in his last start. 5 1/3, 1 earned run, 6 Ks, no walks. He looked very, very good. Luis Gil, on the other hand, coming off a 12-2 loss at the White Sox, did not look good, but at home is where he delivers. 6-3, 2.90 ERA, 167 opponent's batting average. Guardians versus righties, 219, 639 OPS. Now, since August 1st, that's the second worst in Major League Baseball. Yankees versus lefties, just 222, 714. Guardians bullpen has been scuffling a little. 3.90 ERA, 1.14 WHIP. Still good in August. The Yankees bullpen been really scuffling. 4.42 ERA, 1.44 WHIP. Take it away for us, Jose Bouquet. Interest in Guardians, Yankees.
Yeah, so I think everyone should kind of know where I'm leaning here. I've been high on Matt Boyd all year. The lines move towards the Guardians, so give me the Guardians here. Money line full game, I've got plus 132. I find it interesting the pitchers that can go out and, like, for the first time in their major league season, pitch like double, triple the amount of innings that they've thrown in their career. Luis Gil is one of those guys. He's thrown 121 and 2/3 innings pitched this year so far. His previous high was only 30. So I think that's going to be very interesting to see how that goes in the playoffs and such. But I've been high on Matthew Boyd all year. Like I said, the line moving towards them, and less money and bets on the Guardians. So it was just kind of an easy bet for me to make the Guardians here. Under, I was looking at as well. I've just been trying to avoid doubling up. So I just took Guardians here.
Jimmy Gomez on the under 8, minus 102. I'd like to join you with the Guardians. And Daniel Hernandez, Danny Dog, play of the day, Guardians money line. Peter Loshak, your plan.
So you all think this is like not a good spot for Gil. I thought his outs prop was a little suspiciously low. I did hit it at 119. Now it's gone up to like the 140s. But Jose Bouquet, you're worried about Gil's pitch counts for the year, his innings count?
I mean, it's a concern, but the thing is that he's pitched so well, and he's pitched over 100 more innings than he has in his career in the majors. I respect it enough to just not even worry about it, honestly. I just think the Guardians are a good enough team to get to him here.
Yeah.
I mean, these are two first place teams. Don't be surprised at all if we saw this in the playoffs. But yeah, I just give me the better bullpen. I think we have a basically wash when it comes to starting pitching. Obviously, the offense is going to be concerned. The one thing that everyone in baseball will say repeatedly again and again and again is do not let Aaron Judge beat you. And I think the Guardians are smart enough to navigate a two-person lineup.
All right. I mean, Gil has very high volatility, which can be good, very good from a betting perspective. One of those guys, Zach Wheeler's like that. When he's good, he's great. When he's bad, he gets crushed. My numbers indicate this is a decent spot for Gil, but I guess it's been a while since he's gone 4 starts? And you think the Guardians are potent lineup against him, right?
Mikey Money saying Yankees are 16-1 as a home favorite, shorter than minus 140 versus the AL Central.
Very interesting. By the way, Guardians second worst against righties since the start of August. Obviously a concern, but if this is going to be a lower scoring game, I'd rather bet on the Guardians.
Yeah. Wow. Gosh, I don't know what to make of Gil, but yeah. Okay.
Nate Dog says Gil bounce back, Yanks -1, and Viper NB already gave us the Yanks -1 as one of his plays of the day.
Yeah, Pig Milk took Yankees -1.5 as well. That was obviously concerning for me.
Well, no, he has Astros -1.5.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Astros. Sorry, I'm on the Red Sox. That's why it was concerning to me. My bad, Pig Milk.
No worries.
All right, I'll hold off for now.
Well, I'm interested in joining here, and the heel bounce back spot wouldn't surprise me as those in the chat are talking about. Let's just go over to his last few starts here for Luis Heel, who has been strong at home, all season long. Questionable on the road at times. So let's take a look and see what his last few home starts are. At home versus the Angels, he shut him out over 5 innings. Did walk 5 batters, and then allowed 1 earned run versus the Mets. He's been strong at home, and this is where he seems to deliver. Do you have interest in an under here at all, Pete, or a first 5 under?
That's the way I would lean, but I definitely didn't bet it.
Same. BJ also agrees in the chat there as well.
Huh. Okay.
By the way, road 362, home 290 for Luis Hill. So, yeah, better at home.
Strategic Investments says he has an ex-WOBA, which has remained below league average since July 23rd. Also ranks in upper percentile of all qualifying pitchers.
It's so funny. We have numbers like that, great numbers, strategic investment, and then we have Razor dropping the Tuesday numbers as well. Cleveland likes to play on Tuesdays, 11-1 straight up on Tuesdays. So it's so funny to see the different versions of stats to back you and to go against you and such.
Well, I'd like to.
And then there's my take on things, which is Heel is pretty much awesome, but Boyd is awesome too. So I don't like to bet one awesome pitcher against another awesome pitcher.
Stimmy OG in the house. Nice to see you.
I wish I had pink eye.
Let's roll on. You can still get it.
Yeah, I'd be eating butt if I do. That would mean I'd fuck at least and give me some street cred. Maybe I need mono like Sam Darnold. I got him some street cred. Maybe that's what I have.
I don't think it did deliver him any street cred. Let's roll on. 7:07 p.m. Eastern. We have the Cincinnati Reds 61 and 64, 30 and 30 on the road. At the Toronto Blue Jays 58 and 67, 29-32 at home. Rogers Center in Toronto, Ontario. Carson Spires versus Jose Barrios. I kind of wanted. Just after watching that really impressive start at the Angels on the road. He'd been struggling on the road. I initially wanted to back Barrios here, but this line, a monster move towards the Reds, who open up at plus 130, now at plus 116. Certainly not going to get in the way of that. From a total side of things here, we have an 8 at Pinnacle. This got up to 8.5 at Pinnacle. Got up at 9:30 this morning, and then it just came down 2 minutes ago. So 2 minutes ago, we have the under 8.5 being bet. The bullpens are actually pitching pretty well here from Toronto side of things in August. I know it's just 20 days, but 3.72 ERA, 1.28 WHIP. And Stacks play of the day, Tyler Stevenson over 1.5 bases at plus 128 for Justin, who is live at the hospital awaiting the birth of a second grandchild. Shout out to you, Justin McKelvey, and shout out to Stacks, man.
Stacks.
Professor Chris says his model says this should be a pick'em. So the Reds should be around plus 101 or plus 102. So he moved at plus 122 on the Reds. I mean, the market moving towards them. Very interesting spot. Spires 4.55 ERA, 1.29 WHIP. Comes off a 9-2 win at home where he looked terrible. 2 2/3, 6 hits, 2 earned runs. He's been terrible on the road. But this is a very easy lineup to pitch to. Barrios on the other side, last start, that 1 earned run, 5 Ks, 1 walk in 7 innings, just allowing 2 hits in a 9-2 win at the Angels. At home, he's been great all year. 8-2, 2.83 ERA, 218 opponents batting average. Both teams are hitting righties of the same numbers, basically. Reds are 236 and 719. Jays are 243 and 711. And both bullpens, as I said, have been pitching well. Let's take a look at the cash flow and then hand it over to Jose. 77% of tickets, 76% of cash on the over. And on the money line, 79% of tickets and 93% of cash on the Jays. I guess that 79 and 93 should just get you to bet the Reds immediately, and there is Razor betting the Reds. I mean, how do you not bet the Reds here with all this money on the Jays and the line moving away from them? Take it away, Jose.
I am indeed betting the Reds here. The thing that worries me the most about betting the Reds, Buck Farner, Tony Santillan, Sam Moll, Alexis Diaz, Justin Wilson, all through yesterday. I expect all of them besides Justin Wilson to be available, but it's still dicey. They all threw on Saturday as well. So we'll see what happens there. Emilio Pagan, who is meh. Fernando Cruz and Jacob Eunice, our old friend, all available today, have not thrown yesterday. So I'm going to be on the Reds. I'm going to hope that line movement is indicative of the bullpens pitching well or whoever scoring a lot of runs here. So Cincinnati full game for me. I've got plus 116.
Yeah, I completely agree with the breakdown. Trusting Spires is the issue. Peter, take it away. Reds, Jays.
I don't know if I trust Spires to suppress runs, but his strikeout number is very suspicious. I bet it at 4.5 at about plus 115 or so, and now it's moved 20 cents against me. I don't understand it.
Is that Spires or Barrios?
Spires.
Okay.
Is he on a pitch count or something that I'm not aware of?
He got opened for last time out. I remember our guy Pagan starting for him, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if they had him on some sort of limit. He's a young pitcher still. He's been in the majors in 23, but that was only for 13 innings. He's at 65 now. Most he's thrown in his career is 104. I think it's more. It's not about pitch count more. It's more about not seeing a certain part of the order a few times in a row. That's kind of why they started Pagan last time out, because they didn't want Spires to see the top of the order for a third time, would be my guess.
I mean, his outs prop at Pinnacle is about 15 and a half juice to the under. So it's about 15 or so. So they're expecting roughly a 5-inning start from. All right. I'll start with that. I can't explain the line move against me. But I'll start with Spires over 4.5 strikeouts, plus 136 is the current line at Caesars. I'll see if I can find something even better. And my numbers don't really like the spot for Barrios. I definitely like Cincinnati as a dog. And I kind of like Barrios to not have a great start props. What's your take on Barrios, Jimmy the Bag?
You see right away.
Right.
You see right away whether there's movement. If he has movement on the slider, you see it right away. Last year, and it's not as dramatic this year, but in his losses and his wins, the difference between his movement is extreme. So you can tell right away. He's coming off a really strong start. What's he going to do here at home? My initial, Jerry Davis is on the Barrios at home and the Jays. Ricky Bobby's on the Blue Jays first 5. If I was just betting without study and without listening and without, breaking it all down, Toronto first 5 was one of my very first spots I just wrote down on my worksheet, but I was unable to bet it with this huge move towards the Reds. And I usually don't flip, but the more I sit here and hearing that your thoughts are with Spires to have a good start and Barrios not to, I don't see why I wouldn't.
Not necessarily a good start to get strikeouts.
Okay, and what was the Spires over strikeouts?
Plus 136. That's 20 cents better than what I bet. So the line's moved against me. So I
over
don't know.
4.5.
Yeah, that's a low ass strikeout number.
So Barrios, you tell it's just sort of like Gomber in that regard. Do you really want to have a pregame bet with those two pitchers on the mound when you can tell what's going on immediately? It's.
I have something semi-embarrassing to admit, but we'll talk about it later in the program. Right now, we're all business. That's in the business. Yeah, tease. There we go, Pete. You took it right out of my mouth. Yeah. That's in the business right there, Pete. Come on, I'm a professional.
Yeah,
I'm dying, but I have a professional mindset.
Yeah, I'll join with the Reds. I think it's an easy opportunity to fade the Jays. I am still counting down when I can cash the season win total under.
And you must be fucking running through the streets in glee that the Mariners have just fallen apart, and the Astros are going to win by like 6 games.
With the state of my season, it's not being bailed out by futures is not,
it's not the ideal scenario.
No. But I hear you. Drewski saying Blue Jays minus 136, not appealing. No, I get it. So Loshak on Spires over 4.5 Ks. Anything else for you, Pete?
I'll probably add on a Barrios prop. I just have to decide. Definitely leaning under 5.5 strikeouts for him. Don't want to take and definitely leaning over 2.5 earned runs. I bet that one a little bit of plus money. Now it's close to even. And also just like in Cincinnati in general as a dog.
Let's roll. Let's roll on.
Noli likes. By the way, he's in here. Shout out to you, Noli. He's saying Barrios deals.
Shout out
to you, Noli.
Okay,
that was my expectation after that start in LA was that he was just going to come back here and deliver again.
Low scoring game, maybe. We'll see. Good luck, Noli.
Great to have Noli in the chat, man. Miscapping with him. Let's roll on. 7:10 p.m. Eastern. Baltimore Orioles 73 and 53, 36 and 25 on the road at the New York Mets 65 and 60, 34 and 32 at home at Citi Field in Queens, New York. Dean Kramer going up against Jose Quintana. Gone are the days of the Mets raking. They're just hitting 249, 722 OPS versus righties, so no need.
Isn't it crazy that they're favored here, though? That feels just so nuts to me. They were favored yesterday, and I thought it was kind of a fishy line. And then obviously Mets win, walk off, etc. But I thought this was a fishy ass line here to make them favorites again.
I mean, you have to think from the body of work this season that Quintana is an advantage for the Mets over Kramer. Yeah, especially with Quintana at home. Quintana at home 3.72 ERA. A 233 opponent's batting average. The funny thing about Quintana at home is he's allowed 15 of his 20 jacks at home. So I don't know why he still has better numbers at home. The Mets at home have not been very good this year. I didn't take it as I didn't take it as like opening up their arms to people who want to bet the Orioles. Maybe I should have. There's been a very slight move towards the Orioles, 4 cents of movement. It was enough for me, the 4 cents of movement. I mean, the Orioles have not been playing very good baseball, and 72% of the tickets here are on the New York Mets. I mean, that the breakdown of the situation with 28% of tickets, 60% cash on the Orioles was enough for me to move on the Orioles. So I moved on Kramer and the Orioles. He's coming off a nice start at home versus the Nats. He's not been very... it's funny. He's a 193 opponent's batting average. He's only allowed 5 home runs and 47 2/3, but he's allowed, he's not his ERA over 4. He's walked 20 batters and 47 2/3 on the road, so it's not all glory. Orioles are hitting lefties hard, 274, 801 OPS, and the Orioles bullpen is horrific, 6.09 ERA, 1.41 WHIP, like absolutely atrocious. And Dad Fan says, you guys are on some dogs. Those are my favorite dog tonight. No way do they get swept by the Mets. Also liking the over. My dude in the house. Jerry Davis says Quintana has had 3 blowups at home, but the rest of the games he's been dealing. Mally Mal leaning towards the Orioles' first 5. And Drewski says Vegas wants you to bet Baltimore. Well, I did bet Baltimore. And let's just touch on the weather here. 70 Fahrenheit, 12.3 miles per hour left to right. I just think with the fact of the Orioles losing a lot lately, the Mets taking care of them in the series. Let's hear what Jose Buquet has to say. I am on the Orioles at plus 106. Jose, take it away.
I'm off this game. It was a little confusing for me to try to deal with. I just looked up to see how many times the Orioles have been underdogs in general this year. I was very curious. They are 17 games as an underdog this year. They've lost 9 of them. So make that note. They've lost their last 4 as underdogs, and those are in Mets, Tampa Bay, Cleveland, Texas. all those games that they've lost as underdogs. Now, the last game they won as a dog was at home against Los Yankees. That was pretty even line, but it's interesting to see how they do as dogs here. I'm going to stay off most of their games against or as dogs. It's against a good pitcher like St. Louis against Sonny Gray, for example. And then the last one was, like I said, Peterson Rogers. So I just stayed off this game. I thought it was a little bit fishy. And honestly, I think the Mets win this game, but no action.
Pete Loshak, Orioles, Mets.
This is going to be a pass for me. It's a high uncertainty with both starters here and with both teams. Just a pass, slightly and under.
Voodoo Rangers says
Although,
Baltimore.
and also both hits props at 4.5 juice to the over, according to my numbers, were low. But I'm not going to pull the trigger on either of those.
Let's roll on. Let's roll on. You know, there was a series of spots that I liked before diving deep into this. The only ones I was able to move on that I felt correlated with everything enough were the Orioles and the Mariners. There's some additions now, but not from any of the spots that I, just gut liked. And of course, you see Zach Wheeler on the hill. Hard not to like it. Ronaldo Lopez pitched out of his mind early this season, something that Jose Bouquet expected. It was spectacular forecasting. He's been out since July 28th. Not that long, really, 3 weeks. It was a 9-2 win at the Mets. He only made it through 3 innings before he got hurt. And I don't have what the issue was. Oh, was it 4? I don't have it. Jose, if you grab the issue. His last start was at AAA Gwinnett a week ago, last Tuesday. It was his only rehab start. He threw 71 pitches. And, he's been throwing 96 and 97 at times this year and looking very good. He got up to 94.5 with that 4-seamer. And I wonder if he's vulnerable here. He's been lights out at home.
Forearm, by the way.
It was forearm. Thank you. He's been lights out at home. 4-1, 1.74 ERA, 213 opponents batting average. Only have 4 jacks, 57 innings. He's been so good this year. Let's touch on the weather here. 85 Fahrenheit, 8.9 miles per hour out to center. Dies down to 7.7. By the way, Jimmy G is on the Mets money line. Then with the Phillies here, this line not moving towards Philadelphia. Maybe it is now. It wasn't. And it is now, yeah. 6 cents of movement towards the Phillies. This opened up at 7:33 a.m. minus 125. A minute later, it's 10 cents of movement, minus 135. And then it gets all the way back to minus 127 within 9 minutes. So there's not been a lot of movement. I'm curious because this was 7:30 in the morning. Let's see what BetOnline did with this spot. BetOnline has them at minus 130. So BetOnline is 12 cents of movement. This opened up at 2:40 p.m. yesterday. There was a 10-cent move around 11:30, and then buyback right away at 12:20. Bouncing back and forth. But they have a 12-cent move. Let's get into the totals for this spot. From a total perspective, we have this at 8.5 at minus 115 to the under. It looks to me like Penny's the only book at 8.5. This opened up at 8. Some books had it opening at 7.5. This opened up at 8 at Pinnacle at 7:30 this morning. Got up to 8.5 around 7:45. Back down 8, bouncing back and forth. 8.5, 8.5, 8, 8.5. It's at 8.5 right now. So we have a half-run move to the over and a slight move towards the Phillies. BJ says Phillies should be priced higher with Wheeler. The Braves might be a live dog. Voodoo Ranger on Wheeler to win. Let's pull up the cash flow for this spot. 72% of tickets, 92% of cash on the Phillies. And on the total, 81% of tickets, 79% cash on the over. It's just not enough confidence. The market just does not have enough confidence here. By the way, Slatsy says Drew Brown taking first-team reps at practice this morning for the Red Blacks, and he and Slatsy will be at the game on Saturday. That's exciting. It's. I wanted to fade Masoli after that spectacular performance, so it's interesting that Drew Brown's there. It's funny because, and I'm sorry to change focus, but I would like to back Rourke after the apology in the horrible start. I faded him with confidence in game one, but now I'm interested in backing him. I'm going to see what happens with that market, but thank you, Satsy. Take it away for us here, Mr. Bouquet, Phillies Braves.
Yeah, maybe this is the COVID talking, but I thought again this was a trappy line. I thought this was low enough for people to be betting the Phillies and be interested. I know obviously Austin Riley out of the lineup too, gigantic bat, but I feel like for this first game without one of your star players, it's going to be, that Riley around the flag kind of thing. Everyone fills in a role for the day. And then the Phillies take the rest of these games in the series. So I'm not going to bet this game. I don't want to make COVID-addled bets and wake up and be like, what the fuck? I bet the Braves. But yeah, I think the Braves do win today. I think they made this line cheap enough to get people to bet the Phillies. So I'm off this game.
Peter Loshak, Phillies Braves.
Yeah, it's the uncertainty with Lopez makes me want to pass. My numbers indicate, likely another good start for Wheeler. But yeah, as a favorite, it's a little bit iffy. Pass for me.
All right. We got young native Tino in the house, Mexican Elvis joining us. Great to see all you guys. Aubrey Travis says Phillies roll and under 8.5 for Noli knows. Good job getting that. Well, I mean, it's 8.5 right now. Huh. Okay. Let's roll on. By the way, the Braves are starting to hit. I know Riley's out for 6 weeks now, but 253, 766 OPS versus righty since August 1st. They're hitting harder than the Phillies. And both bullpens have been scuffling. Stephen Fehrenbach says Braves are a sinking ship. Terrible roster at this point. Phillies just need to play at 55% level and they win this game. BJ says Braves are nothing, but do you have the balls to fade Wheeler? I have once all year, that Ryan Nelson starting to cashed thanks to Del Castillo's jack in the bottom of the 9th walk-off. He's good. Let's roll on. 7:45 p.m. Eastern. Look, there's Brewers cards. There's 2 pitchers that you guys know I want to fade if I can. Frankie Montas and Walker Buehler. I had the opportunity to take the first 5 over when they went up heads up against each other. And now we have an opportunity to fade either one of them. The market is slightly on my side in fading Walker Buehler, so I did. And I have a big investment in that first 3 and first 5. Here, the line's moving towards Frankie Montas, and I can't figure out. I guess they think Fetty's going to get touched. I just how anybody could believe in Frankie soft toss Montas, says Andrew G. I can't figure it out. Now, one thing that we do have in this Brewers spot, Crystal Craig on Brewers team total over, and William Contreras parlay to get a hit. That's a parlay there. And Ron Crawford, our guy Ron Crawford, his daughter Molly home from the hospital, getting better every day. So thankful for that. Ron Crawford's spreadsheet dog play of the day is the Milwaukee Brewers. And shout out to our guy, Ron Crawford. Troy Torrance says Montas being great for his Cardinals lineup even this season. 12 innings, only 4 runs allowed with a 1 whip. Drewski says Brewers money line cards shouldn't be favored. Mally Mal says Brewers. Says Frankie settled down after 3 runs in the first. Yes, he did settle down. That I didn't even cash the full game over. That landed right on 9. No, Ron Crawford took the Brewers just on the money line here, Aubrey. So, with all that being said, let's set up this for Jose and for Peter Loshak. First off, we'll touch on the weather at Busch Stadium, 77 Fahrenheit, 9.2 miles per hour, and dies down to 6.2 miles per hour. Get into the line history here for this one. We'll start with the total. This total is a 7.5. This opened up at 8. I know some books did open up at 8.5. This opened up at 8 at 5:10 p.m. Juice to the under. Went down to 7.5 around midnight, 1 a.m., back up to 8, back down to 7.5, where it stayed until 10:15 this morning. And then 40 minutes ago, dropped back to 7.5. So overall, we still have a move to the under. And on the money line, we have The Brew Crew right now plus 106. Opened up at plus 115, so 9 cents of movement towards the Brewers. And then cash flow wise, 98% of tickets, 98% cash on the over, and 32% tickets, 45% cash on the Brewers. Eric Fetty allowed 4 earned runs in a 4-1 loss at the Reds last out. Brewers are hitting right now, 254, 814 OPS versus righties. A huge advantage over the Cards' weak sticks, 229, 660. Huge advantage for the Brewers bullpen as well, 2.77 ERA, 0.92 whip. The only spot where they don't have an advantage is the starting pitchers, except, like Mally Mal said, Montas allows 3 runs versus a very tough-hitting Dodger squad, and then completely settles down. Those 3 runs were in the first inning. He makes it through 5, allowing just those 3 runs, and 0 of them were earned. I guess Montas and the Brewers should be backed after breaking this all down. Take it away, Jose.
Yeah, I agree. It's Montas. I'm going to back him here. I'm full game, obviously, as well. I trust the Brewers money line, or I trust the Brewers bullpen, excuse me. So, yeah, full game money line for me, plus 105, line movement going towards them. And like you said, I just want to double check. It's kind of split. 32% of the bets, only 45% of the money on the Brewers. But yeah, I'm on the Brewers here. Line movement. I think I saw my guy Troy Torrance, and shout out to Troy. He's been dominating baseball the last few days. Montez has success against the Cardinals lineup, and he's saying even in this inning, only 12 innings, 4 runs allowed to 1 whip. So give me a Montas here, and I kind of do lean over like. Steve Fehrenbach was saying, how is this an over kind of game? I lean under. Shout out to Razor Sharp picks on the under in this game. I leaned over. Shout out to you, Steve, for pointing it out, and Razor betting the under here. But I'm just going to stick with the Brewers.
What did you get? What line?
Plus 105 full game money line.
Plus 105. Peter Loshak, take it away.
Well, I don't know if I like the Brewers. I do like the Montas over strikeouts prop because, he gets his strikeouts even when he gets hit. But as far as, I don't know, my numbers indicate that it's might be a decent spot for Fetty. So I kind of like Fetty over 4.5 strikeouts, under 2.5 earned runs. I don't know if I want to necessarily pull the trigger on it, but for sure I'll add on Montas over 4.5 strikeouts. I'll add that one on over 4.5 strikeouts. It's minus 119 at Caesars. I'll shop around for a better line. And as far as Fetty, yeah, my numbers indicate a decent start from him. Under 2.5 earned runs, over 4.5 strikeouts. Either of you guys or anyone in the comments section has got any insights on Fetty here? Is he a gas can? Is he washed? Is he cooked? Is he decent? What do you think, Jose Bouquet?
I still think he's a good pitcher. I think he'll be a good pitcher for the next. I think he'll be a good pitcher for the next 2 seasons as well.
Yeah.
So I'll back him next year. No matter what happens at the end of this year, I'll back him next year. He'll have a full year with the Cardinals, et cetera, et cetera. Troy, good point though. Career high innings pitched for Fetty. I wonder what he pitched in Korea. I mean, obviously different innings when it comes to Korean innings and MLB innings, but I'm curious to see now.
All right. Well, I'll definitely take Montas over 4.5 strikeouts, and I'll take either Fetty over 4.5 strikeouts or under 2.5 earned runs. I'll take one of those, make a decision on it. I'll let you know, Jim.
Okay.
By the way, 180 innings pitched last year in the KBO, 133, his MLB career high. He's at 137.
It's a sorry, go ahead.
Loshak, sorry. You're going to be on Fetty's over outs?
Over strikeouts.
Over strikeouts. Over 4.5 strikeouts.
4.5, but I'm going to shop around. It's like minus 119 now.
And you might take his under earned runs?
No. Fetty.
Okay.
Fetty under earned runs or Fetty strikeouts.
Yeah.
Over deciding which one I want to do.
Okay. Let's roll on. Joseph Alvarado in the house. Joining us from Chi-Town. We got Antoine Harris ready to get to work. Looking for anybody with homer props. True Teller has Adames in this game with a homer prop. Let's roll on. Next up I think that I joined you guys on the Brewers here. I hate backing Montas, but it just seems to make sense to me here in this spot. 8:05 p.m. Eastern with the Detroit Tigers 61 and 64, 30 and 32 on the road at the Chicago Cubs 61, 64, 34 and 28 at home. We're at Wrigley Field in Chicago, Illinois. I mean, I think that this is Brian Salmon's first career start being set up. We don't know if it will be at this point. I don't believe the books have anybody listed here for the Tigers. They don't. Going up against Javier Assad. Talk about inning limits. I wonder if Assad is starting to deal with some arm fatigue, but he's coming off a great start. 2-1 loss at the Guardians. I mean, he only made it through 4 2/3, 2 Ks, 2 walks, but is a high wire act. He's been great at home all year. 2-1, 2.38 ERA, 226 opponents batting average. Wine Time Sports on the under 7.5 here. Razor sharp picks. Thank you for rocking with us, man. Go get that cash, my friend. So let's get to the weather here at Wrigley. We have 66 Fahrenheit, kind of cool. It's cool here too. 11 mile per hour in, dies down to 9.8 miles per hour in. If this is Salmon's opportunity to start, it's his first career start. 29-year-old journeyman here. 8th round pick in the 2017 draft out of Western Carolina. This is his first year, obviously, in the majors. If this will be his first start, he's had 4 appearances, 18 2/3. He's been excellent. 0.70 WHIP, 3.38 ERA. In Toledo, he was strong. 6-5, 4.18 ERA, 1.27 WHIP. Doesn't get a ton of strikeouts, but he's a journeyman. He's a journeyman here. Last appearance was August 14th, 5 2/3, allowed that 1 earned run, a 3-2 win at home versus the Mariners. Tigers versus righties, just 238, 664, and the Cubs are hitting lefties hard. If it is Salmon's, 257, 92 OPS, and both bullpens have been incredible. Wager detective in the house, great to see you. So let's take a look at the line history and then the cash flow and hand it over to Jose for this Cubbies spot. The Chicago Cubs right now are minus 141. They opened up at minus 153, so we have a line movement towards the Detroit Tigers, who've been a great dog of late. From a total perspective here, we have this at 7.5, minus 109 to the under. This opened up at 8 at 10:39 a.m., not until 10:39 a.m. 3 minutes in, this was a 7.5. Didn't take long, but it got back to 8, 11:20 a.m. Now it's a 7.5. So we have a move to the under and a move to the Tigers. And when we get to the cash flow for this one, 17% of the tickets, 36% of cash on the Tigers. And for the total, 85 and 83 on the over. Jose Bouquet, take it away.
No action for obvious reasons. Don't know, it could be that guy that you said, Jimmy, but I didn't spend much time on this game. I will say I found it interesting. This is going to be Javier Baez's first return to Chicago since being traded. I thought that was crazy. It feels like it's been years now. But yeah, his first return, so I find that to be interesting. I'll be watching for that. Maybe, and he's our guy, Jimmy. I can't even slander the fucking guy because he threw us a bone big time the other day. So honestly, I consider taking props for him, but no fucking shot am I betting this game. It's a tough game to bet with no pitcher confirmed for me.
Question about whether the Cubs, any books offering the Cubs to make the playoffs for our friend Saturated? Yes. At Bet365 right now, the Cubs to make the playoffs plus 1,200. Plus 1,200. Still alive for the Braves not to make the playoffs. Braves not to make the playoffs is plus 265.
I got a plus 375, so we got value, Pete. That's what they say. All that matters, you get value, right? Who cares about the wins and losses?
That is what they say.
You have value there. Speaking of value, and I didn't get plus 375 on the Astros. I thought I did. I got plus 350 when I was going over futures action, like just begging for it to come through in a horrible way.
You're
now minus
please let this be 425.
At least there's 500 on it, but I thought it was 375, 350. Minus 1,200 right now for the Astros to win their division. But let's talk about this Tigers Cubbies spot. Jose uncomfortable with the unknown of who will be on the bump for the Tigers. Pistol Pete Loshak, take it away, Tigers Cubbies.
Really didn't even look at it just because I didn't know who the starters were, had no line, so really got nothing to say. I mean, Assad's a nice 4-inning pitcher. Go ahead.
He is. Philly Eagle Flyer continues to crush with these tied after 2 spots. He's got 2. He's got Angels Royals at plus 164, Phillies Braves at plus 176. Copy and paste that. Noli says looks like a bullpen day for the Tigers. That bullpen's been incredible in August. 2.89 ERA, 0.94 WHIP. Tigers are just playing good baseball. You know, what's your expectation? You know, Pete, you say Assad's good. Assad's a good 4-inning pitcher. The Cubs bullpen's been good. Jose? What's your expectation of Assad here?
It's interesting. You know, the Cubs just shook up their bullpen as well. No more Hector Neris in the back end of that bullpen. They put him on waivers, sent him goodbye. But yeah, it's been 4 2/3, 4 innings, last 3 outings for Assad. He's at 107 innings pitched. Last year, he was at 109. But this year, 22 games started compared to last year's 10. I definitely think there's a fatigue factor sitting in with Assad, and that's why they're keeping him at 4 or 5 innings.
Yeah, I imagine the Tigers are a great dog here. Jarek White looking at that first 5 under for. I'm going to keep an eye out on this. I'm not going to bet it after the show, but keep an eye out.
And by the way, Jim, I'll take the Fetty over 4.5 strikeouts prop minus 137 Caesars. I'll just add that one on.
Fetty over 4.5 Ks minus what?
Minus 137 Caesars.
Minus 137 at Caesars. Let's roll on. Next up for us, 8:05 p.m. Eastern with the Pittsburgh Pirates 58-66, 29-34 on the road. At the Texas Rangers 58-68, 33-30 at home. Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. Mitch Keller went on this, Pirates road trip, pitching out of his mind spectacularly well. He's allowed 15 earned runs in his last 2 starts. Still has decent numbers on the year, 10-7, 3.95 ERA, 1.25 WHIP. But these road numbers have become very inflated due to those 15 earned runs. Now 5-5 with a 5.27 ERA, 272 opponent's batting average. Cody Bradford, the lefty, he's another guy who's throwing 29 innings at home and 7 on the road this year. He's at home here where he's 3-0 with a 2.48 ERA, 187 opponent's batting average. He's only walked 5 batters in 29 innings with 24 strikeouts. He's been great. Coming off that 3-2 loss at home versus the Twins, you guys all cashed the full game under. I pushed my first 5 under. But, the Twins haven't been hitting lefties. The Pirates have been. Pirates are hitting 276, 802 OPS in August versus lefties, while the Rangers are 254, 733 versus righties. Isaiah, no, I had no action last night. I've been playing the fool, man. I needed to regroup and
some random breaking news from the Hockey League. Philadelphia placed Ryan Johansson on unconditional waivers. Letting him go.
What a fucking bum. Just thank God we can forget about that group of Vancouver NHLers that he was supposed to be leading us into a better place. He's been horrific, but don't worry, we got Bedard and Celebrini to help us forget about Ryan Johansson, who I will immediately forget about, and who I hope we never speak of again. What a fucking disgrace. All that talent. Good God, if I had that size, Jesus Christ, what a fucking bum. Let's roll. Wager Detective. Shout out to our guy, Wager Detective, a $10 dono to get my mind off of that fucking bum, Ryan Johansson. Thank you, Wager Detective, $10 dono. There's no booze in these cups, but I will still toast to you. Thank you, Wager Detective, my friend. So Pirates versus lefties are hitting them. Rangers are hitting decent against righties. Both bullpens have been struggling. Let's get into the line history here for this one. We have line history wise. This total is sitting at 8 minus 108 to the over. Open up at 8. There's been a 5-cent move towards the under at Pinnacle. That's it. And on the money line, we have this sitting with the Rangers at minus 132. They opened up minus 149. So a 16-cent move to the Pirates from plus 137 to plus 121. And when we get into the cash flow for this one. 97% of tickets, 97% cash on the over, and 14% of tickets and 5% of cash on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Wow. God, these dogs are really appealing throughout this card. And here's another one that market-wise is very appealing if we can trust Mitch Keller at all. Jose, take it away.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, I'm off this game. I agree. I think the Pirates are a little bit appealing, but Cody Bradford has been pitching well. And Pittsburgh numbers against lefties. I have righties up right now. Let me switch against lefties. They're actually pretty good. Fifth, 108 weighted runs created plus 126 weighted runs created plus. Excuse me. For that, they're eighth best or fifth best. So maybe you can say it's a small sample size. Sure, I just don't trust Keller enough. Really, it's Pittsburgh or pass, and I'm passing here. And by the way, if I can be an asshole real quick, maybe this is a COVID talking. Mexican Elvis, shut the fuck up about these Mexican talk. Shut the fuck up and just sit there and cap the fucking games, Mexican Elvis. You dumb fuck. Just cap the games. Stay on fucking track. Fucking dummy. Go ahead, Pete.
Shout out to Isaiah Scurry. Isaiah Scurry, thank you, man. Best handicapping show here. You're a big part of it. The cappers in the chat are a big part of it. Thank you for that dono, man. It means a ton to us here at Pub. Peter Loshak, Pirates Rangers.
Yeah, I don't quite understand why the market is giving some kind of credit for a bounce back from Keller. He might have some dead arm issues. Noli knows, pointing out that his velocity was down a couple of miles per hour last time out. So yeah, I kind of like his walk numbers he's been walking a lot of guys, and I don't know why his walks 1.5 minus 125. I hit that one. 17.5 outs under at plus money. I think he's going to go 6 here. I'm not sure of that. And under 4.5 strikeouts at plus money for Keller as well are all things that I bet that I think. I agree that Bradford is a little bit of a wild card here. Decent overall, but this is probably not the greatest spot for him. But I wanted to throw on at least one, prop bet on Keller to continue to fade, to continue to struggle, unless people have reason to believe that that's not going to happen here. But I think his struggles are at this point in the season are probably a bit for real. Maybe not, but I think so, right?
Look, his last 2 starts cost me. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with him. I do know this though. I know that that she's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Oh, I can't. I can't show her to you, unfortunately, Pete. But I can't show you this.
Oh shit! Whoa. That's quite different from the Pinnacle, screen here. Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's very, very different, Pete. But I can't show you. I can't show you Helen Mitch Keller. And look, I don't even want to see her.
Me neither. All right. Well, I'll add on Keller under 17.5 outs at plus money. I'll line shop around for the best line, but Keller under 17.5 outs plus money. We'll take that.
Under 17.5 outs at plus money. We will line shop there for Loshak here. The market's telling us that that's a very Noli liking that look under 17.5 outs. The market telling us this is a nice spot for the Pirates, but hard to. Armchair MMA says that Helen Mitch Keller bid is gold. Well, maybe Jose can pop up Helen Mitch Keller at some point here.
She's around. Of course, she's here.
Oh, there she is.
Of course. And by the way, I saw someone saying that Mike M was the only one that likes old ladies. We know that's not true.
No, we learned everything from. We learned it all from DJ Big Boss. Everything we've learned from DJ Big Boss.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah. Okay, let's roll on here. Next up for us, we have Well, I guess we move past this. Pete's going to give us a Keller number here. Wine time is on that Pittsburgh, Texas over 8. He's on St. Louis, Milwaukee under 7.5. Chicago, Detroit under 7.5 as well. Let's roll. Next up for us, 8:10 p.m. Eastern. We have the Los Angeles Angels, 53-72, 26-32 on the road. The Kansas City Royals, 70-55, 39-25 at home at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. Let's take a look at the weather to get us started here in Kansas City. 79 Fahrenheit, 8.5 miles per hour in. It's right to left, but slightly in. Dies down to 7.9 miles per hour. Let's get into the line history here for this one. We have the Royals at minus 190. They opened up at minus 193 at 5:13 p.m. and there was no movement. There was no movement for 14 hours. And then the movement started to go against the Royals towards the Angels. This was minus 178. It's come back to minus 190. Still 3 cents of movement towards the Angels. Let's get to the total here on this one. From a total standpoint, we have an 8 now. This was an 8.5. It just moved. No, it didn't just move to 8. It moved to 8 at 9:20 this morning. 9:20 this morning. And when I look around, there are 8.5s at other books. Will Hill still hanging 8.5. But Herod, Bet Online still hanging 8.5. Now minus 120 to the under. Raggins over 6.5 Ks and Ish Wiz making a big move on Ohtani. I will copy and paste that here so we can discuss it when we talk about Mariners, Dodgers. A big spot for Ish Wiz. Ish Wiz making a big move on Ohtani. Let's get back to this spot here, though, and finish off the job. Cash flow. We have the 93% of tickets, 98% of cash on the Royals. Wow, 93 and 98. The line not moving towards them. 74 and 73 on the over 8.5. This has dropped to 8. Tyler Anderson did not look good in that last start. That was against Barrios. He got lit up. 9-2 loss at home versus the Jays. 5 2/3, 7 earned runs, 8 Ks, 4 walks. On the road, 6-3, 1.81 ERA, 170 opponent's batting average. He's been excellent. His issue has been at home all year long. Now, the Royals are not hitting lefties. 231, 668 OPS. The Angels are. 292, 765 OPS. Cole Raggins has been worse at home than on the road, but he's been strong everywhere. Now, he just shut down the Twins, who have struggled against lefties of late. 7 innings, 8 Ks, 1 earned run. Home 3.61 ERA, 236 opponents batting average. And the Angels bullpen. So the Angels are hitting lefties harder. They have a bullpen advantage, but they don't have a starting pitcher advantage. Mally Mal says Tyler Anderson, another old man arm. Take it away for us, Jose. Angels, Royals.
I lean Angels for sure. I thought this line was just way too wide for certain. I probably lean under as well. This line has not moved a half run yet. It's just gone juice-wise from minus 110 to minus 120 to the under. So I lean to the under to me here, but I didn't move on anything specific in this game as well. Let me go to the total here market real quick. 74% of the bets and 83% of the money on the over. If it was moving down, if it moved a half run down, I probably might be on it, but just nothing here for me yet.
So it's because at Bet Online we haven't moved the half run, but Pinnacle, we have. Let me just see what's done at Bet Online. Bet Online we had just the 10 cents to the under. Okay, and it hasn't moved since 6:18 p.m. So they're not too concerned about those on the under, I guess. Peter Loshak, take it away. Angels, Royals.
Yeah, I did do one. I've had a few underdog bets here in this show, but I did hit Raggins over 17.5 outs at big favorite line. I'm not exactly sure. Is there any? I know he's struggled a little bit in a tiny sample size against the Angels in his career, but is there any reason to believe that that he won't have a nice little start here? Jose Bouquet, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's a tough game. Because of Raggins, especially. I think he's very good. I would rather bet on him facing a team that is worse lefty split. You just talked about how the Angels have been hitting lefties pretty well since the first of this month. I'll tell you, they're 8th best, 215 plate appearances, so a good sample size as well. 116 weighted runs created plus, You can easily make the argument that those lefties are not the same as Cole Ragans. I'll probably believe you. But let me look up the starting left-handed pitcher game logs versus the Angels, and I'll let you know.
All right, I'll take it, Jose Bouquet. I'll take the Caesars line over 17.5 outs, minus 179. Caesars. I'll take it.
Wow.
I'll take it.
It's that juiced for 17.5?
Well, 6 innings. Nice little 6-inning start there. Why does that surprise you?
Yeah, that makes me think he's
Why?
going to have a really strong start.
Why does that surprise you?
The implied probability of him going 6 full is higher than what I would expect.
Okay. I mean, it's nothing crazy. It's like he's going to come in, give you a nice little 6-inning start. He might even give up a couple runs. He might even give up 3 or 4, but he's going to go 6 and, yeah.
So you guys know these are the lefties that the Angels has faced recently. Chris Sale, 6 innings, 2 earned runs there. Mackenzie Gore, 4 innings, 5 runs, none of them earned. Patrick Corbin, 4 innings, 4 earned runs. Mitchell Parker, 6 1/3, no earned runs, but 2 of them crossed. So it's just the fleet of lefties from the Nationals. They faced Nestor and they got to Nestor. And they faced Jose Quintana, 5 innings, 3 earned runs. So honestly, the names might not be the best for the Nationals guys, but like Quintana, Perez, Nestor, Chris Sale, they all pretty good lefties, and they all scored against them. So,
I have interest in that first 5 under 4.5. Pete, do you have any interest in that first 5 under?
I
mean, you like
not particularly. No.
You like Ragans, so it's Tyler Anderson is the issue.
Yeah, and I actually think that uncertainty with Anderson here might have one of his better. Yeah, now I'm starting to get more nervous about Ragans. I mean, that is
All right, we have over 17.5 outs, minus 179. I'm interested in the first 5 under 4.5. I don't see why Tyler Anderson wouldn't bounce back here and have a nice start. Something's wrong with him at home. You get him out on the road, he's been lights out. So I'm going to trust that under 4.5. It is juiced. Let's roll on. 8:10 p.m. Eastern. The Boston Red Sox 65-59, 36-27 on the road at the Houston Astros, 68-56, 35-27 at home Minute Maid Park, Houston, Texas. When we talked about, I guess this huge winning streak it feels like it came out of nowhere. I went back through their games and it didn't come out of nowhere. I wonder why. I guess I was so caught up in just cashing the division that, I didn't think of what we did with the Orioles last year was back them every day. Nick Pivetta, 5-8, 4.49 ERA, 1.13 whip. Coming off 5-1 loss at the Orioles, he allowed 3 earned runs. That was a very fishy total that day. That 8.5 didn't really make sense. And of course, the under took care of business. He's been better on the road than he's been at home. 3.90 ERA, 226 opponents batting average, but he's allowed 15 of his 21 home runs on the road. Ronel Blanco coming off a nice start at Tampa. He's been a little worse at home than he's been on the road, but he's been great all year. 2.89 ERA, 1.01 whip. That no-hitter got him started early in the year. Red Sox first righties, 290, 812 OPS. Astros now 267, 784. These are August stats. And then the advantage from the bullpen in August, the Red Sox are allowing 3.95 more runs over 9 innings than the Astros in August. That bullpen. I mean, that's just unbelievable. Let's get into the line history here for this one. We'll move to the full game. From a full game standpoint, we have the 8.5 minus 110 to the under. This opened up at 8 at 5:13 p.m. By 8:19 p.m., it was at 8.5. So we have a half-run move towards the over. And on the money line, we have the Astros at minus 112. So we have a huge move towards the Red Sox. No, maybe not huge, is a little much, but from plus 115 to plus 103 is a legit 12-cent move. Let's get into the cash flow here for this one. We have 90% of the tickets, 92% of the cash on the over. It's gone up a half run. And then 82% of the tickets and 91% cash on the Astros. Hard to get in the way of the Houston Astros, but the market would give you confidence to do so. True Teller says Astros for him. Nasty Nate says Red Sox smash. Justin McKelvey on Pena over 1.5 bases. Take it away for us, Jose Bouquet, your Red Sox in action at Houston.
Yeah, so I'm on the Red Sox here. I think it's just smart to be on the Red Sox first 5 instead of full game, obviously. The bullpen has just been horrific. So Red Sox first 5 for me. It is not a bet that I make often first 5, but the line movement I think is just kind of buoying me here. And I need to look at the first 5 line movement as well because we've had a pretty big one in this game, and it does give me confidence. And obviously the reason I'm not on full game is because of the Red Sox bullpen's been atrocious. Minus 111 now. Full game for the Astros was minus 130 at one point. So it's very interesting on that end. It makes me want to take first 5. And first 5 movements only been down 10 cents. So I just really think you have to, or I guess I have to, swallow the bullet, trust the bullpen. A bullpen that obviously just got walked off yesterday. And I think that was Kenley Jansen's first home run he's given up as a walk-off all year. So, yeah, Red Sox for me, full game money line will be on my card. I guess I should avoid the bullpens, but like I said, the line movement is in the full game, and I should bet full game line movements instead of first 5s on full game line movements. So, plus 101 full game.
Plus 101 for Jose on the Red Sox. Peter Loshak, Red Sox Astros.
Going to be a pass. Pivetta, of course, giving up home runs, getting strikeouts. Slightly into Pivetta over 5.5 strikeouts and slightly into Blanco under 2.5 earned runs, but I will pass on both of those.
Pig milk play of the day is the Houston Astros minus 1.5. Pig milk is what a monster our guy Billy Friedrich is. What a monster. I apologize if you can hear my kids. I got very intoxicated at a family function and karaoke. I don't sing karaoke at all, but somehow I sang Pour Some Sugar on Me by Def Leppard.
I'm immediately interested.
Now my kids are singing it to me, not screaming it. They're screaming that song.
I'm immediately interested. I need to contact your family and see if we can get some video footage.
It's 2 a.m. I just I don't ever sing karaoke. And now I just getting woken up by it from the kid. They're just screaming it nonstop. Jose's on the Red Sox full game at plus 101. Let's roll on. 9:40 p.m. Eastern. Minnesota Twins 70-55, 34-31 on the road. At San Diego Padres 71-55, 34-29 at home. We're at Petco Park in San Diego, California. Ober versus Perez. Saturate says, no way, that song was in my head all day yesterday. It's not, the kids are just singing it nonstop around here. Okay.
And you can't blame them.
No, it's my fault. The problem is it was recorded. They recorded me singing this song.
Good.
Okay. 77 Fahrenheit. It's warm for San Diego night games. 77 Fahrenheit, 7.7 miles per hour in, dies down to 5.9 miles per hour. Let's get into the line history here for this one. The Twinkies are at minus 108. They opened up at minus 118. So we've had a 10 cents of movement towards the Padres from plus 109 to minus 101. I like Bailey Ober. It's not helped me. I've handled Bailey Ober horrifically this year. I can't get him right. This total is at 8. It opened up at 7.5 at 5:18 p.m. yesterday. It moved to 8 at 7:45 a.m. Let's get into the cash flow here. I mean, there's not a lot of pitchers I've handled well. Just fucked everything up this year. It's just ruined my fucking summer and fucking ruined my fucking life. 55% of the tickets are on the Twins and 48% of the cash. On the total, 97% of tickets, 98% cash on the over. Bailey Ober, 12-5, 3.49 ERA, 1 whip. God, he's been really good. That 3-2 win at the Rangers pushed that first 5 when all of my friends cashed the full game under. On the road, he was great. 2 earned runs, 6 innings, 3 Ks, 3 walks. It was 2-2 after 2 innings, so I was fortunate to cash the first 5 under, and I didn't live bet the under to take pain away from that either. Martin Perez, 3 and 5, 4.62 ERA, 1.49 WHIP. Last start, 5 and a third. He allowed a solo shot. He's been excellent in 3 starts. Oh, like Jerry Davis has the numbers there, I believe, with the Padres. Yeah, 3 starts with the Padres, 18 and a third, 11 hits, 4 earned runs. Interestingly enough, they've all been solo shots. So he's allowed 4 solo shots, 21 Ks and 3 walks. And the Twins aren't hitting lefties. 205, 7. Now it's a little better. It's a little better in August. That 3-run home run by Santana, that's my lowest moment of the year. The 1-1, top of the 5th, sitting on the under 4.5, and Santana hits a 3-run jack off of Heaney. That's my lowest moment of the year. I just started leaking. I just started sweating. It was just like I couldn't handle the pain and anger, and I guess it just came out through sweat. Padres versus righties, 269, 784 OPS. Twins bullpen, 3.88 ERA, 1.03 WHIP, being decent. Padres bullpen, as you guys predicted, has been excellent. 2.76 ERA, 1.18 WHIP. Jose Bouquet, take it away. Twins, Padres.
Yeah, I wanted to be on the Padres, but I think the line movement is going to keep me off. I need to refresh again here.
We have a question from Rob Free. Let me just answer it quickly. Rob Free, I don't know what to say about and I think Jose was just talking about it. 45% of the tickets and 52% of the cash, sort of coin flippy, but 10 cents of movement to the Padres. Take it away, Jose.
Yeah, I just wanted more money on the Twins, honestly, to move on the Padres. So I'm off. Just keep it simple. I like Bailey Ober a lot. He's been a pitcher that I backed, and Martin Perez, I think he's good. I think you just need to put Martin Perez in a situation where he has something to pitch for, like playoffs or a rotation spot or whatever, and he's going to show you his best shit. So Padres, but nothing here for me.
Peter Loshak, Twinkies Padres. Any interest for you?
Yeah, I kind of like the over 4.5 strikeouts. Didn't quite understand why the number was so low. And numbers indicate maybe not a great spot for Perez, but I didn't pull the trigger on that. His strikeouts prop is extremely low, 3.5. It's juiced to the over, of course. But, his last 3 games, 8, 6, and 7, and now he's got a strikeout prop of 3.5. Very curious. I guess I'm going to stay off of it.
God. Let me ask you this, Jose. Free $500 bet, side or total, your choice. What would it be?
Free $500 bet. Let me see here. I think I'd probably go Padres full game. The total went from 7.5 to 7.5 minus 125 to 8 at some places as well. And I want to bet the under in this game, if anything. So, yeah, I'd probably be Padres money line.
I kind of like that. Yeah, I'm fucking off this one. Okay, 9:40 p.m. Eastern. Tampa Bay Rays 62 and 62, 28 and 28 on the road at Oakland Athletics, 54 and 71, 31 and 31 at home. We're at Oakland Coliseum in Oakland, California, with the Wizard of Boz going up against Joey Estes. I love Joey Estes. At home. 3-0, 2.40 ERA. 4 home runs allowed in 45 innings, 210 opponents back. He's been the only one. But even Joey Estes, I didn't handle that well. I wasn't on him. Remember, I wasn't on him on that no-hitter. Remember, I said, I didn't want to get into it.
Yeah, I remember.
Boz 0-2, 4.21 ERA, 1.43 WHIP. Last start was nice. 3-2 loss at home versus the Astros. 7 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, 2 jacks, 6 Ks, 2 walks. It was a difficult situation. He pitched well. On the road, he's thrown 19 innings. Hasn't allowed a home run yet on the road, but 9 walks in 19 innings and 14 strikeouts in 19 innings. So not quite up to his usual numbers. Joey Estes coming off a decent start at the Mets. They lose 9-1, but he went 5 1/3, only allowing 3 earned runs. Rays versus righties are not hitting in August. 230, 646 OPS. A's are hitting 241, 705 OPS. Rays bullpen 1.61 ERA, 0.91 WHIP, unhittable. A's bullpen's been okay. 4.07 ERA, 1.17 WHIP. Jarek White on the A's money line. Vipe says line seems fair. I would take a shot with the A's, but he is off. Robert Franklin is on the Athletics money line. Let's get into, first off, the weather in Oakland, 70 Fahrenheit. As I said, a little warmer right now on the West Coast. Certainly not warm here. 12.9 miles per hour to right field, dies down to 10 miles per hour out to right field. From a line history standpoint, we have this total at 8. Here's another one. It opened up at 8, and after being available for 14 hours, it moved to 7.5, and then an hour and 45 minutes later, or hour and a half later, back up to 8. Overall, there's been no movement on the total. No movement on the money line here. We have the A's at plus 106. That's exactly where they opened. So we have no movement on side or total on this one. Let's go to the cash flow. We have 36% of tickets, 54% of the cash on the A's. So a little bit more cash bet on the A's. 86 and 86 on the over. This is a tricky one. Not a lot of help here. Alexander Sosa leaning to the over. Skunk Blaster on the Rays money line, but Noli Knows has given us the skull and bones. Take it away for us, Jose Bouquet, Rays A's.
Yeah, I lean under with you, Noli, but I think this is an A spot. I'm not going to move on it. Something that I didn't know going into Joey Estes' last start, people probably saw him like throw his arms up when his third baseman didn't get that ball. His brother-in-law from his wife's side just died like 72 hours right before that start, and he decided to go out there and pitch, and obviously heavy emotions, et cetera, et cetera. So honestly, I'm not worried about like any locker room bullshit or anything like that from Joey. And I think he's just like Fetty, like I said earlier, he's a back pitcher, someone I'll back next year as well as being a good pitcher that I trust here. And he had that kind of emotional start last time out. He still only gave up 3 earned runs and 5 1/3 innings pitched. So yeah, I agree with you, Noli. I lean under. But if I had to make a bet in this game, it would be the A's. I just haven't moved on anything yet, and obviously wanted to hear everyone talk about it first.
Yeah, I mean, if throw me free action, I'd be on A's. I'd be on the under, full game under. But Noli with the skull and bones makes me want to do it. Let's hear what Loshak has to say. Take it away, Pete. Rays, A's.
I know Baz doesn't go that deep, but
he went 7 full though. 7 full against the Astros last start. But you're right, he's not been going deep. He's not been.
I mean, he's a young guy. Inconsistency. He's not that young. I mean, I liked his outs prop at just 16 on the over, just 16.5 minus 106. Once again, slight lean to the over 5.5 strikeouts at plus money, just because it was plus money. Slight lean to Estes under 2.5 earned runs. And I guess I would be leaning under. Both of the hits props for these guys are just 4.5, not particularly strongly juiced to the over. And my numbers indicated that both of those have a little bit of value. Over 4.5 hits at like minus 130 for both of them. So a whole bunch of pitching props that I think have a little bit of value. Not sure which one I want to make official. Noli Knows likes the under here that much. I certainly don't disagree with it. I mean, yeah, I think my numbers indicate a solid start from both these guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Why is it not moving more towards the under? Let's see what. I mean, Bet Online has this at a 7.5. The issue is they opened it at 7.5.
Yeah, if it was 7.5 and it moved down to 7, I'd be more interested in the under, obviously.
Or an 8 to 7.5.
Mm-hmm.
Noli skull and bones makes me want to bet it, but I don't.
All right, you know what? I'll take I'll definitely take Baz over 16.5 outs minus 106. That's the start. Well, I mean, I'll shop around. 106 a Pinnacle, maybe better somewhere else.
All right, you got it.
I mean, sorry, 106
Rant says 2 bad pitchers. I don't agree with that at all. I think these are 2 strong pitchers. And
I'll be backing both next year.
Yeah, I agree. But it's all good. That's part of the fun. We don't have to agree with each other. Let's move on. 9:45 p.m. Eastern. Chicago White Sox 30-96, 12-52 on the road. At the San Francisco Giants 64-63, 37-27 at home. Oracle Park in San Francisco, California. Davis Martin coming off a nice start, at home versus the Yankees. Allowed just 1 run over 5 2/3. 18.
By By the way, real quick, Noli, I think I would feel better if I got the worst number. It's the same, and I'll just show this real quick. It's the same thing with Troy in the NFL with 3.5 to 4 or whatever. It's just I'd much rather just have that and have the market showing some kind of fear. But I know what we're saying, Noli. Just for those who don't know.
No, I feel you. Going up against Robbie Ray. Maybe watching Robbie Ray's last start was my lowest low, but I do think it was that Santana 3-run jack.
Yeah,
Robbie Ray's last start, 2 1/3, 5 earned runs. He only allowed 1 hit, walked 3 batters. He looked awful. The White Sox in August are hitting 182 with a 454 OPS. I've not ever written an OPS under 500.
Team one, yeah.
Yeah. Till now, 454 OPS for the White Sox versus lefties in August. The Giants aren't hitting righties, 225, 699, but those numbers look superlative against compared to the White Sox numbers. White Sox bullpen, 5.82 ERA, 1.69 whip, bad. Giants bullpen's been nice, 2.70 ERA, 1.18 whip. So here we go. Nate Dogg on the under 8 in this one. Let's set this one up. First off, 63 Fahrenheit, 14.8 miles per hour to right field, dies down to 13.6, but it swirls and then blows out to the deepest part of the park. From a total standpoint here, we have an 8 minus 113 to the under. This did go down to 7.5. 9:20 this morning went down to 7.5. Stayed there till 10 this morning. But right now we have 2 cents of movement on the under. Just 2 cents of movement on the under. And on the money line, there has been a move towards the White Sox. White Sox right now at plus 210. Oh, no, I guess it's just even. It opened up at plus 209, now just at plus 210. There had been a move towards the White Sox, but that is no longer. Then let's get into the cash flow for this one. From a cash flow standpoint, 2% of the tickets and 3% of the cash is on the under. 2 and 3. Wow, 2 and 3. Then we have 95% of tickets, 96% of cash on the Giants. And the floor is yours, Jose Bouquet. Take it away. White Sox Giants. Jose?
Sorry, I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
It's your...
okay, my bad. I cut out there for a second. 98% of the bets and 97% of the money on the over. And we've gone down a little bit. I probably just end up staying off here. I have a bad taste in my mouth with Robbie Ray as well. That sucked ass watching him throw 1 inning, and it just really, really pissed me off. So I'm off of Robbie Ray for right now. I think the Giants are just in a free fall kind of thing. So no action.
You don't feel like this is the perfect bounce back spot and we should put a line through what we just saw if possible?
Yeah, but it's just too juice for me to figure that out.
Even on the under?
Yeah, I don't trust Davis Martin and the White Sox bullpen. The White Sox bullpen is really the more concerning thing than Davis Martin. He could go out there and throw 5 innings shutout and be like, okay. And then the bullpen, you have to sweat out that. First 5, it would be my lean if I had to take a under here for sure.
Ricky Bobby looking over 6.5 Ks. Peter Loshak, take it away. White Sox, Giants.
Sorry, I'm also adding on some Boz props. Sorry, I'm just looking around. I'm definitely going to add on Boz over 5.5 strikeouts plus 108 pinnacle, and I'll also add on Boz over 4.5 hits allowed minus 119 pinnacle. I'll take both of those, and I might add some other props in that game as well.
Over 5.5 Ks at plus 108. Over 4.5 hits at what?
Minus 119 pinnacle.
Wow, interesting. DC Capper on the Giants minus 1.5. Ricky Bobby on Robbie Ray over 6.5 strikeouts.
Oh, sorry. Jimmy the Bag.
Yeah.
Over 4.5 hits allowed minus 108. Bet online. Finally, we got a bet online line for this show.
Beautiful. We got that all locked in. Justin McKelvey on over 7.5 Ks at plus 145. So touch on this spot, Peter. Davis Martin, Robbie Ray. Do we get a bounce back performance from Robbie Ray? Is the first 5 under live? Noli knows says over Ks and hits. I guess it's because Noli knows he expects him to also go over 16.5 outs. So he's going to be in there for a long time to give him the opportunity.
Yeah, it's only questioning that as like a anti-correlated. That's it. Yeah, I mean, in the same way that like giving up runs or home runs or whatever, and low strikeouts is not necessarily something that's correlated. Yeah, the pitcher is likely to have a strong start and go deep, then and he has a low hits total. So yeah, I mean, somewhat anti-correlated. I'm sure I haven't actually priced out the correlation between over strikeout props and hits props, but I should though. But yeah, Noli, yeah. It's interesting. I mean, you see a lot of strikeout. A lot of guys. Like perfect example was that guy Matthews. Guys who are going to be vulnerable to hard hit balls, but are still going to get their strikeouts. There's a lot of guys like that in the majors. Anyway. Okay, so this one, my sense is it's a bounce back spot for Ray. Is there any reason to believe? Well, I'm sure you've looked into this, Jose Bouquet. Why do you not expect a bounce back here from Ray?
I mean, I do, but the issue is just too juice for me, and I know that's never stopped you.
Never.
I want to bet the under because I don't trust the White Sox side of this pitching. Yeah, and I don't want to bet Robbie Ray because I have a bad taste in my mouth, and he's a little bit too juiced for me.
I was thinking maybe about the over 17.5 outs, although Ray, sometimes has those strong five inning, high pitch count starts, ton of strikeouts, but the pitch kind of, goes up, so he gets yanked before 6. But my sense is, and then over 6.5 strikeouts is something I'm leaning towards as well. I understand that it's a scary thing to do in light of his last start. But was there any reason to believe that wasn't just a blip?
I think there's plenty of reasons. Like I said, I going into that last start, I had Robbie Ray as a back pitcher. He's fresh. It's been a year or so since Tommy John. New environment that is really good at developing pitchers and reviving pitchers we've seen the last few years with the Giants. But if this was almost any other team than the White Sox, I'd probably be on Robbie Ray in some form or fashion here. It's just too juiced. Because they're too juiced, but you don't like his strikeout prop over 6.5, even though that's a little bit juicy. Yeah, I'm just not good at strikeout props. He's had 2, 7, 9, 4, and 8. And the 8 against the Dodgers, 9 against the Reds, and 7 against the Tigers. So if someone more interested wants to look up swing and miss rates for left-handed pitchers against those teams, compare them. That would be a good way to decide if you're going to be on a strikeout prop there.
Yeah. All right. I will start with, I'll take that. I'll take Ray over 6.5 strikeouts. It'll be a little juicy. I'll shop around for the least juicy line I can find, but yeah, I'll take that. I'll start there, and maybe I'll add on something else.
This is one I've got to pull the trigger on. I'm going to be on the first 5 under 4. It's not going to be enjoyable, but the White Sox are just doing nothing against lefties. Robbie Ray's got to deliver for me. And then the Giants aren't hitting righties, and I like what Davis Martin did in his last start, and I think he's got a wonderful opportunity to pitch at Oracle and deliver here. So this is not going to be fun at all. But I'm going to be on the first 5 under 4. There has been 10 cents of movement on the first 5 under at Pinnacle. It did open up at plus 105 to the under, so I could have got a 4.5. I might still be able to get a 4.5. I'll make that decision later, but I'm going to be on the first 5 under here in this one. Let's roll on. Let's roll on to the final MLB game on the card. We are going to cap WNBA. I spent some time on WNBA as well. So we are going to cap WNBA. But let's roll here into our final spot on the board. We already heard from Ish Wiz. Ish Wiz is making a big bet on Ohtani over hits, runs, and RBIs. I can't help myself. I have to fade Walker Buehler. I have to do it. And I have to invest in it. This is the reason why I couldn't cut my unit size in half was this game. I was like, look, I have to fade him. And I'm doing it here. Can Bryce Miller deliver on the road? He hasn't all year. He did last start against the weakest lineup the Tigers could have possibly produced. Thank God for Baez with that 2-run shot off of Munoz. That was Munoz's first hit allowed since July 4th. I mean, that's just nuts. But I have to back Bryce Miller here against Walker Buehler, and we'll see if that blows up in my face. This first 5 total opened up over 4 at even money. There's been 14 cents of movement to the first 5 over. The full game here is at 8.5 minus 118 to the over. Interesting, this one, because it opens up at 8.5, juice to the under. It goes down to 8 at 3 in the morning, bounces back up to 8.5 for 7:30 at 7:33 a.m. Only lasts there for like an hour, 10 minutes, back to 8, and then it's gone up to 8.5, and then up to 9. So this was 8 at 7 in the morning. At 8:43 in the morning, this was an 8, and then at 11:52 a.m. this was a 9. It's back at 8.5. But we've had 15 cents of movement to the full game over. And on the money line here, we have Miller at plus 135, which is where he's been for hours and hours and hours. This opened up at plus 136. Very little movement here. Sitting at plus 135 right now. I'd like to see what it's done on the first 5. You know, this has bounced all over the place. There were times where the first 5 was the exact same price as a full game. Then there was a 10-cent difference at Bet365. That's when I pulled the trigger. I got plus 125 on the first 5. Excuse me. Yes, I got plus 125 on the first 5 and plus 120 on the first 3. I got them both at 365. Line movement here at Bet Online. This opened up at plus 120 at midnight, and then it went down to plus 115 after 41 minutes. Since then, money's come in on the Dodgers, and we're now at plus 128. So there's been 8 cents of movement at Bet Online first 5. But it's not like that at all books. If you go over to Will Hill, Will Hill has opened this up at 8:59 a.m. plus 125. So there's been 5 cents of movement at Will Hill. Nate Dogg says Miller shoves. Good God, I hope so. Rob Free says Buehler's trash. Says I can't believe he's this bad. By the Mariners might make the guy look but the Mariners might make the guy look elite tonight. Stay off for him. Nate Dogg on Seattle first 5 plus a half here. So let's get into the situation here with the cash flow as well. Also, a huge bullpen advantage for the Dodgers. Mariners bullpen been falling apart. 5.04 ERA, 1.50 WHIP. The Dodgers aren't raking righties right now. 246, 740 OPS since August 1st. 207, 685 for the Mariners. And when we get to the cash flow, 6% of the tickets and 54% of the cash are on the Mariners. I mean, that's... Obviously, some big bets have come in on the Mariners. And look, if I was in a different situation, I probably would have done the same thing here against Walker Buehler. 80% of the tickets, 80% cash on the over. So here we go. Jose Buquet, our final MLB game on the board. Mariners, Dodgers, take it away.
I'm off. The Mariners are on the do not bet list for me because of their offense has been so anemic and it's cost me a lot this year. So I stayed off, but I agree. Fade Walker Buehler.
And that's what I am doing here. And I'm not alone. I'm not alone. Robert Franklin on Mariners first 5 money line. We have my dude's action here, which I will copy and paste and we'll go over as soon as we hear Peter Loshak's plan on Mariners Dodgers. Take it away, Pete.
Well, I actually ran out of time, so I didn't. I mean, I know that it's Walker Buehler day, so I just can't say that I looked into this game too deeply. I would trust you to fade Walker Buehler.
It was my dad. It was my dad who watched the Dodgers closely. Before he went on the DL or the IL, excuse me, my dad sent me a message like, you got to fade Walker Buehler at every opportunity. The problem was my dad was in Vegas that night. We all faded him first 5, and he allowed 7 or 8 runs. But the Dodgers came back from a 7-run deficit, and he was on the full game. They came back in the 9th inning and cost Pop some cash. But
well, okay. I mean, Seattle is, Jose Buquet. How bad is the situation there offensively?
Well, Jose's still dealing with the throes of COVID right now, so he's taking a little break here.
Okay.
And then I applaud Jose for fighting his way through the show.
Yes.
We also have action from my dude, which I do want to talk about. But I mean, is there any way we can not take a Seattle first 5 team total over at 1.5?
What's the juice?
150 or so. What are the chances Buehler comes in and holds them down to less than 2 runs over 5 innings? What do you
I
think?
like that bet. It's just the issue is the Mariners fucking suck at offense. They're the worst offensive team in baseball for being a good team. It's a hard team to bet. And I agree with you wholeheartedly that seems like an over kind of bet. And normally with Mariners games, you get totals at 7, 7.5. This one's an 8.5, so it's pretty high for a Mariners game. So yeah, Noli in the chat even said he leans over. So I mean, I agree with him there.
Yeah, look, this is not me believing in Bryce Miller on the road. I don't think that last start was a fair example of what he's doing on the road. That was the weakest AAA lineup I've seen the Tigers produce all year long. This is me having to fade Walker Buehler, and we'll do so until it stops paying.
All right, I'll take a shot with it. Seattle, first 5, team total over, minus 152. Pinnacle.
Mariners, first 5, team total over 1.5, minus 152. All right, let's roll on. Before we move on to WNBA, let's review all action here on the show. I'll run through my action, and Jose will run through his, and then Peter will run through his, and then we'll move into WNBA. Justin McKelvey, Stacks play of the day. Stevenson over 1.5 bases at plus 128. He's in the hospital right now, awaiting the birth of his second grandchild. A shout out to Justin McKelvey, who you're going to be seeing more of on this channel. We are fans of his work. Crystal Craig, play of the day. Brewers, team total over 2.5. She's timed that with Contreras to get a hit. Minus 110 spot for Crystal. Viper is on the Yankees minus 1. He also likes the Nats and the Royals. Pig Milk play today is Astros minus 1.5 plus 146. By the way, Pig Milk play today up 21.89 units over 79 bets. Ron Crawford spreadsheet dog play today Milwaukee plus 114. 9 legacy as a Brewers, Royals, Padres, Giants, Dodgers run line parlay. Skunt play of the day from our guy, the Skunt Blaster, Orioles money line. Jimmy Gomez. Oh, that was just us giving me remembering that he's now smart money bets. Vitalis, Tigers team total over 3.5 at even money. Strategic Investments, Chapiadora play of the day, Yankees minus 145 over the Guardians. A DC Capper. I've got all your action, my dude, too, so I'll go over that here as well. DC Capper on the Diamondbacks minus 1.5. Loshak's on Gomber over 16.5. Oh, no, he's going to do all those. I'm interested in the first 5 under in Colorado, Washington. I don't know if I get there. Jose's on the Guardians, and I'm very interested in joining him and Daniel Hernandez. Danny Dog play of the day is Guardians money line. I'm interested in the Guardians in the first 5 under. I know I'm not going to be talking about these other guys' action, but Jose's on the Reds at plus 116, and I want to join him. I'm already on the Orioles. The Orioles plus 106, and the Mariners first 3 and first 5. I have already bet. The rest will be additions. I'm off for the Phillies, but I was interested. I would like to join Jose on the Brewers and razor sharp picks under 7.5 and Brewers cards. Wine time on that as well. Philly Eagle Flyer tied after second is Angels Royals and Phillies Braves. I'm going to wait on the Tigers, but I have interest in them. Wine time's also on Pittsburgh, Texas over 8 and Chicago, Detroit under 7.5. And I want the first 5 under 4.5 in Angels Royals. I expect to bet that when the show's over. And then I guess that is it for me. No, first 5 under 4 in White Sox Giants. That's not going to be enjoyable at all. And I've got the double up already bet on the Mariners. So my dude's best bets here: Kramer over 1.5 walks at minus 190, Arenado over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs at minus 115, and Cole Ragans over 6.5 Ks at minus 135. Also on Jackson Merrill over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs at minus 110. Jose Bouquet, can you please review us with your action?
Yes. I have a short card today, and I have only 4 bets. By the way, I went 1-1 yesterday. My COVID fog. I thought I pushed the total, and I didn't. So 1-1 yesterday. I'm on Cleveland full game money line plus 132, Cincinnati Reds plus 116, Milwaukee Brewers plus 105, and the Boston Red Sox at plus 101.
Locked and loaded here. Take it away for us, Peter Loshak.
All right. It's an interesting kind of wacky card, but hopefully I'll be okay. We'll see. Gomber over 16.5 outs, minus 127 Pinnacle. And that game, Colorado-Washington, first 5, under 4.5, minus 130 Pinnacle. Then we're going to take Spires over 4.5 strikeouts, plus 136 Caesars. I don't know. Move against me. I bet it at like 116. Now it's up to 136. Montas over 4.5 strikeouts, minus 118 Pinnacle, and Fetty over 4.5 strikeouts, minus 137 Caesars. Then we're going to take one bet on Keller to continue to struggle under 17.5 outs, plus 124 Heritage. And this one makes me nervous, but I guess I'm on it. Ragans over 17.5 outs, minus 179 Caesars. Then we got 3 plays on Boz wound up with over 16.5 outs, minus 106 Caesars, over 5.5 strikeouts, plus 108 Pinnacle, and over 4.5 hits allowed, minus 108 Bet Online. Then we're going to take Robbie Ray over 6.5 strikeouts, minus 141 Heritage, and then no-brainer, no thought play on Seattle, first 5, team total over 1.5, minus 152 Pinnacle. Oy.
I like it. Excellent work, gentlemen. Excellent work. Let's roll on to WNBA here. We have 3 games on the WNBA card and some interesting spots here. So let's roll. We start. Sorry, let me get down to the bottom. 7 p.m. Eastern with the Los Angeles Sparks, 6-21, just 2-11 on the road, being horrific on the road all year. At the Connecticut Sun, 19-7, 10-3 at home. Noli knows here. And also my dude liking that Nerfy in the Bueller spot. Noli knows with his action, which is must know information. Philly spot under 8.5, Tampa Bay, Oakland under 7.5, and Cleveland, New York under 8. And the bookie buster play is the Yankees. So Viper MB on the Yankees with DC Capper going up against Jose and I on the Guardians. Okay.
Right.
Back to TD. Oh, by the way, Connecticut Sun are playing in TD Garden here. TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. Sparks Sun. Sparks 6-21, 2-11 on the road, as I said. Connecticut Sun 19-7, 10-3 at home. Peter, Sparks have lost 3 straight since the Olympic break. They were last seen on Sunday, losing 87-71 at the Aces. So that was the second half of a back-to-back. That was their 3rd game in 4 nights. So this, of course, is their 4th game in 6 nights with a long flight as well. Now, they've been great as a double-digit dog. They hurt a lot of people in their first game back, losing badly as a double-digit dog, losing by 30+. The Sun have not covered their last 3 games as double-digit favorites. So if you're getting focused, look, double-digit dogs have been cashing nonstop in WNBA. We know that. And the Connecticut Sun being part of the problem, not covering double-digit favorites. We have the Sun opening up the post-Olympic break with an easy win at Dallas before following that up with an ugly 82-70 loss at Atlanta on Sunday. The best defensive team in the WNBA, allowing 74 points per game. They're going to be without Tiffany Mitchell, backup guard due to an illness. And the Sparks, obviously, no more Cameron Brink, but Lexi Brown, Ari McDonald, and Laisha Clarendon all out. Dabby Cab saying Florida State, Georgia Tech live stream this Saturday. Yes, we're going to talk about that. We're excited about that one. This Saturday, 11:45 a.m. Eastern, our first college football stream of the year, hosted by Dabby Cab and friends. That is this Saturday. Let's get into the line history, Pete, for this Sparks spot. We have right now the Connecticut Sun minus 14 and minus 106. They opened up minus 13.5, so the half-point move towards the Sun. And on the total, we have a 158 at minus 105. Under 158 minus 105. This opened up 156, 2-point move towards the under. Rob Free, yeah, if you go back to our Rangers breakdown, we broke it down with Salmons as the pitcher that we expected to pitch. So, Peter, The Sparks to me are in a horrific spot. I don't see why the Sun wouldn't smash and grab first quarter, first half. An angry Connecticut Sun group. I can't think of a worse situation for a basketball team than the Sparks in their fourth game in 6 nights, including travel. I don't care that they've been losing badly. I care that the Connecticut Sun are angry about that poor performance in their last one. Really, I mean, the 82-70 loss at Atlanta on Sunday, I think they take it out on the Sparks here. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Probably Sparks team total under, and maybe a first half team total under 34.5 minus 119 at Pinnacle. It's very low, but your analysis is probably, yeah. I mean, it's hard to take big favorites in the WNBA, but it just seems like it's Sun or nothing.
And that they just smash immediately, and they're playing at TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. This means something to them. I think it's a smash and grab spot here. First quarter, first half is what I expect. I've not been tweeting out WNBA. I don't know if I necessarily will start here, but I really do like the spot. Let's go over to the cash flow and just see if it's become a very public thought process. Even though these double-digit dogs have been covering, only 20% of the tickets are on the Sun. 59. We don't have cash flow. 59. I think. I also read an article where, the guy was like, "This is ridiculous. How could the Sparks? This is definitely bet the Sparks. You got to bet the Sparks." And when I read that, I was like, "No, it's not ridiculous." And I hope more people think like you, because I'm going to fade you. No, I'm not going to do a full game, but first quarter, first half is the plan here for the Connecticut Sun. And it won't be as my WNBA. If my WNBA unit size is not the same as MLB. Let's roll next spot. Peter, 7 p.m. Eastern. We have the Dallas Wings. Sorry, let me move there. Jose has fought the good fight throughout this whole show, dealing with COVID and still battling. Dallas Wings, New York Liberty here. Dallas Wings 6-20, 2-12 on the road at the New York Liberty, 23-4, 12-1 at home at Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. Dallas is really well rested. They played just one game since the Olympic break, and they lost badly, 109-91 at home to Connecticut. The Wings turned the ball over 21 times. They've lost 11 straight road games, and if Maddie Siegrist is back from this finger injury, they're going to be 100% healthy for the first time this year. I know that Billy Brisbane liked Dallas in that spot where they got slapped, but maybe he was just a game early. Jarek White on the Wings. I'm wondering if the Wings are the spot here, because the Liberty have won both their games since the break. They destroy the Sparks in LA last Thursday, 103-68. And then they have a very impressive 79-67 win at Las Vegas on Saturday night. They're horrific as a double-digit favorite, 2-12 over the last 14 opportunities. Lainey Hamilton out with a knee injury. I wonder if this is the spot where, the Liberty aren't as locked in as they might want to be. And Dallas has been dealing with the horrific loss now for 5 or 6 days. This total opened up at 174. It's still at 174. It has moved a little bit. It went up to 175.5, but back where it started. And then from a money line standpoint here, we have, money line, excuse me. From a spread standpoint, we have a huge move. I'm just late. I'm late. I can't do it now. Damn. Look at that. Wow. This opened up, at 1:07 a.m. plus 14. Got all the way down to plus 10.5, now plus 11. That's past the point of no return for me betting it. Ron Crawford got New York minus 11.5. Voodoo Ranger says Maddie says she'll play. Yeah, too late to the party here. 30% of tickets, 54% cash on the over, and on the spread, 34% tickets, 68% cash on the Wings. Maybe it moves back to the Liberty enough for me to move on the Wings late, but this has gone too far for me, Peter. Your thoughts on Wings Liberty?
I mean, obviously Dallas has extraordinary issues defensively, so it would seem that as far as the cover of that big dog line is concerned, Yeah, it does seem like it's Dallas or nothing. Maybe the over. I mean, the over looks kind of obvious, doesn't it? Even though the Liberty are very modest scoring. But yeah, it does seem like Dallas is going to hang close in a high scoring game. I'm not going to make anything official. I'm not going to bet it, but would definitely be leaning over and probably leaning both team total, like Dallas team total over 81.
I agree with you guys, Dallas.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just moved too far. What do we do now? I mean, it's just I can't. That's just too big of a swing. I mean, I could have picked this up, with a much bigger line. It's just I can't. Drewski still moving on Dallas to +12, but I'm not going to take him at this number, even if it's the right play. So I'm off. Anything you guys want to make official?
No, definitely not.
No, I'm good.
If I can get a 12.5, I will move on it, but I can't do it now. Okay, let's move on to our final spot on the board. Strategic Investments gave us the Seattle Storm -6.5 as his best spot in WNBA. Bill McDonald said Seattle Storm bounce back. First quarter -2.5. We have Storm Mystics, and we have Ron Crawford, WNBA play today on the Mystics +6.5. Storm have lost both games since the break. They lost 83-81 at Atlanta on Friday. Then they lose 92-75 at Indiana on Sunday. Storm, they just can't hit outside shots. I mean, it's just pathetic. 29.3% from three on the year. I mean, it's by far last in the league. Mystics coming off getting beaten up in a home-and-home versus the Lynx to open the post-break action. They lost at Minnesota 79-68 on Thursday before getting badly beaten at home 99-83 on Saturday. The Mystics have lost 5 straight at home, and this is an angry group in the Seattle Storm. Seattle right now -7 and -108. This opened up at 6.5. Initially went down to 6 before this moved back towards the Storm up to 7. And on the total, we have it at 161.5. It's juiced to the over. Opened up at 162 and got up to 163.5 before it started dropping. And Jarek White, Storm -7. Let's take a look at the cash flow before we hand it over. Cash flow-wise in this Storm spot, we have no help on the spread. And on the total, 28% of tickets, 91% of cash on the over. And it's been dropping. Peter Loshak, any interest in Storm Mystics?
I mean, yeah, it would seem that maybe I don't want to overthink it, but it seems like the Mystics are in need of a get right game here, and Washington is the perfect opponent for that. So yeah, maybe Seattle first 5, maybe just full game.
I would be thinking the same thing, but seeing Ron Crawford, WNBA play today on the Mystics, and Mystics coming off facing very tough competition in the Lynx, that's I guess this one's going to get me off at this point. But strategic investments on this one,
I would definitely be leaning over just because Seattle they kind of got, it's a low total. They got burned in their last game, but both teams kind of like to get up and down, and it's a modest total for the WNBA. So I'd definitely be leaning over here at mine at 161.5 or so.
And Dabby Cab saying, all the people coming on the stream with me Saturday are taking Georgia Tech. But Cab just bet FSU first half -6.5 and wanting it to be official for his.
You know what,
record.
Jim? Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll take the over 161 in this one. I'll give an official play. Seattle, Washington over 161 -110 Caesars.
Seattle, Washington over 161. Jose Bouquet, your thoughts on the Seattle, Washington spot?
Yeah, the under was appealing to me, like you mentioned, all the money on the over, and we've gone down some. But I didn't move anything official for me here. I will say that Saturday, hopefully I'm feeling better, and I will be with Dabby Cab Saturday morning, talking Georgia State and Florida State, Georgia Tech, and Florida State. That'll be fun. I'll ride with Dabby on first half. Florida State, I'll ride with you, Dabby. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Tune into the live streams Saturday. Jimmy already told you to lock me in for one in NFL as well. So all that stuff coming soon. Don't forget to tune in, subscribe, etc.
Yes, and we're going to break that game down with Dabby Cab tomorrow, Wednesday, August 21st. So we'll cut that video out. That'll be available. So that's part of tomorrow's show with Dabra Kadabra, the Magic Man. So we'll break that game down tomorrow over all of the nuances that are included in it. For me, so Loshak moving on that over 161.5. For me,
161, baby.
161 flat. Okay, what was the juice?
Minus 110. That's a market line. So let's quote bet online.
Just for me, Suns first quarter, first half. Connecticut Sun first quarter, first half. I don't know if I bothered, tweeting that out. Like I'd have to go back and see how many. I don't even know if I've tweeted any WNBA action out, and it's kind of late in the year. But Sun Connecticut Sun first quarter, first half for me. I just think the Sparks are. I'm telling you, these articles that are out there, 0 of them have their record on them. 0 of them, because they just lose and lose and lose and lose. And in the book, The Undoing Project, it's when you have the conviction to go up against somebody that your ROI will go through the roof. It's not when you agree with somebody. It's when you're like, no, this is, so. Well, Sun first quarter, first half for me. I think it's just a smashing. It's a horrific spot for the Los Angeles Sparks. That is our show for today. Don't forget about our live bet stream on Saturday. Don't forget Bankroll Blitz Season 2 premieres 7 days from now, 8 p.m. Eastern. Also, we have. Say what?
Yeah, futures. For those who don't know, Jimmy and Troy will be talking futures, and I'm sure giving out general thoughts for the upcoming year. So don't forget to tune in, get your futures locked in, and that's just the start. We'll be there every Tuesday for the rest of the year, basically. So yeah, tune in, lock in. Tuesday night's the place to be.
I can't wait. And then, of course, right after our show is the Locker Room podcast. UFC Locker Room podcast is premieres at 11 p.m. on Tuesday night. So Tuesday nights are a huge night for us here at Pub Sports Radio. And tonight, UFC stream 7 p.m. Contender Series. Don't forget about that, the Contender Series as well. Sign up for the Cappers contest and the Survivor pool. Again, we will talk about this poker. It looks like our first poker tournament will have to be moved to the 30th, which means if it is the 30th, we should probably do one on the 6th as well, the night after opening night in NFL. So we'll talk all about that. Jose, great work, man. Under the weather, still delivering the goods here. A ton of respect for that. It's not easy dealing with COVID, and you did it with aplomb. So thank you for all your effort and hard work. It means a ton to us.
Can I tell you my thing from earlier?
Yeah.
It's kind of embarrassing, but Pete, I'm glad you're here. You're an older man. You understand these struggles.
Maybe not.
I started engagement ring shopping, Jimmy.
Oh, wow.
Online, yeah. And of course, I'm affirming that bitch. And we're going to put that payment plan down, and it's going to be great. And I'm going to have to pay that thing off for the rest of my life. But officially started shopping for engagement rings and stuff. So, yeah. Now, obviously, Helga doesn't watch the programs, nor is she here, so I can say this openly. But, yeah, just wanted to let you know, Jimmy, I'm going to be affirming that. And it's going to be a lovely payment plan for the rest of my life. And I cannot wait. But shout out to payment plans on engagement rings.
Respect, man. That's a monstrous move that you are making. Does Helga know about this?
Oh, of course not. No, it's all going to be a surprise. The whole thing. I'll record it for those people that care. But yeah, no, it's going to be fun. But I'm not going to have that ring for another fucking few months. But I know what I'm getting, and I know the payment plan. So we're growing up.
You are growing up.
I grows up.
You are growing up. All grows up. Our young Jose Bouquet. Thank you to everybody in the chat.
One thing, I'm sure they said it in the comment section. I'm sure it's already been said. I'm not looking at the comment section, but Jose, 1 word, 6 letters, 1 concept, 2 syllables. Prenup, Jose Bouquet. Live it, learn it.
Of course. I've got so many, I've got such an amount of things that I need to keep, in order. How am I going to protect my Wemby Funko Pops if I don't get a prenup. I mean, come on.
I'm just saying, from now until whatever may happen in the future, just be aware, half, bang. That's not all your half, unless you got the prenup.
Jose, I know you're battling through this with COVID. Is there any thank yous you want to give out before I do a run through?
No, shout out to you guys and fuck you, Mexican Elvish. I really hope that you step on like 17 Legos today and go fuck yourself and stop talking about Mexicans in the chat. Thank you very much.
This is an alias for him.
Yeah. I mean, obviously.
But we don't need to get into any of that. We don't need to get into any of that. Derek White, thank you. Dabra, Kadabra, Nasty Nate, Daryl, Turner, Kongs, Clips, Robert Franklin, Jerry Davis, Ryan Kozlowski. Thank you, guys. The Wager Detective in the house, Andrew G. Drewski, Ron Crawford, Voodoo Ranger. Thank you guys so much. Dav Fence, his favorite dog of the day, the Mariners. We need the dogs to deliver here. Saturated, Rob Free, Strategic Investments, Noli Knows, Rants. Thank you guys so much. The Truth Teller, Nate Dog. Maiden Focus had given us some great insights here in the chat, but
yeah, I like that. I like you, Maiden Focus.
No, he retracted all of his statements. He retracted all
never mind. I guess I don't like
all of his statements and took off. I apologize if we didn't talk about you. Maybe you wanted to be talked about immediately, but
yeah, I know. I liked his comments as well. I was actually looking at them. So,
but he took all of his messages and he went home.
Just give me all my shit back and I'll go home.
George Wood, thank you guys. Ricky, Bobby, all of you guys, thank you so much for all of the support that you give in the channel. We had donos today. It means so much to us. You guys supporting the channel means an absolute ton. So thank you guys so much. Truly, thank you. And from our friend Peter Loshak, this is the original Loshak shirt that I still take care of. Peter, this is our last Tuesday together for some time. We will talk because we've got guest spots and a lot of stuff in store for you. Dabby Cab will be helping with college football. I'll go over everything that's going on here.
Pete, you're stuck with me on Tuesdays now. You ready for that?
You take what life hands you. Yes, I am ready for it, and I'm going to enjoy it and love it.
Peter, my friend, can you please bless our action and lead us into the future?
Man. All right. Well, first of all, shout out to Jose, who was dealing with, physical issues. He was worn down today. He did a great show as opposed to me. I was very well rested, did kind of a subpar show. You take the ups and downs as far as what you deliver, what your health is. You just try to enjoy life with your friends and your loved ones. Now, Jose's adding a loved one to his life. That'll be interesting. That'll be fun to talk about as it matures and develops. At the very least,
you want to get invited to the wedding?
Pete's
not coming. If I invited Pete, there's a 0% chance he'd come.
I don't think that's the case. Maybe you could wrap it around Pubapalooza.
Oh my God.
This is like when you're looking at a game and it's like there's so many things to consider that are like conflicting factors. Do I want to go to Jose's wedding? Yeah, of course. Why not? Why would I not? Of course I would, Jose.
Nasty Nate will be there.
It'll be catered, right?
Let's do it at the Southtown 101 for Pubapalooza, man.
Yeah. Helga's gonna love all of this. Yeah.
There's some crab legs there. I'm definitely in, and if not, I'll probably still be in anyway.
It's exciting.
Thank you.
Exciting times.
On that note, I bless Jose Bouquet's foray into commitment, and I bless all our picks for today's show. It was so much fun. Jimmy the Bag. This is Jimmy. People don't understand how hard it is. People know how hard it is to cap. They don't understand how hard it is to cap and host a show and create a community and respond to the comment section, all that shit, Jimmy the Bag. And whenever I have to do it again, I'm reminded of how difficult it is. You got everything going on all over the place. Jimmy the Bag, great job for you. It'll be great to do all these shows during football season. Looking forward to the Cappers contest and the poker tournaments. I guess I'll see you all next Tuesday.